podcast ever. Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to bait me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. Y'all's the hate on all of my moves, but now niggas on it. Y'all used to debate me on me and my views, but now niggas on it. I used to tell them I'ma have me a show, but now niggas on it. Her homies on it. Your homies on it. The realest podcast ever. The realest podcast ever.
There we go. No?
Oh, yeah. Well, you was there.
I was there. All right.
That was perfect.
The fact that you didn't follow me made me think I fucked up.
Oh, no. When you do it right, I don't have to complain. Yeah. It's like being in a relationship. You do shit right, ain't nobody complaining.
Realest Podcast Ever, episode 132.
No, 1. 32?
1?
Hey, I'm right.
The award show was 130.
Yeah, that was last week.
No, it wasn't. It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, Chad's right then. I'm agreeing with Taylor.
32.
32.
I'm listening. The white man said, "What you want from me? Years of systemic oppression."
Did you see that TikTok that said that chronicled R. Kelly admitting all of the shit that he did wrong over a 20-year period? It was like it was on Twitter though. And the shit went stupid viral. And the boy was basically like, he was cutting from like black people dancing and step in the name of love. It was like, R. Kelly, I have a fetish for young women, black people dancing, step in the name of love. R. Kelly, I had got Aaliyah pregnant when she was 15. Black people still dancing and step in the name of love. Black people. Then R. Kelly come back in again. He say, I have women chained up in my house right now. Black people still dancing and step in the name of love. A white person. Hey, it come to our attention that R. Kelly and so and so. It's like, nigga, what? Nigga, what? Like R. Kelly been telling y'all for 20 years, I'm a sexual deviant. As soon as a white person said it, everybody like, hold on, wait, what's going on?
Did you hear Uncle Murder's wrap up?
I'm done with Uncle Murder. I'm not listening to that.
Why not?
Because he stole it from Mad Skills. I'm not listening to that shit.
Well, I mean...
He literally stole it and then challenged him to rumble over it.
Somebody the other day was like, who do you think has the better wrap-up, Skills or Uncle
Skills
Murder?
don't even do it no more.
Skills do it. He did.
He had took off like...
Okay. He did it for 20. I like Uncle Murder because he's like funny with like
asshole.
the disses. You know what I'm saying? And then my homie was like, who do you think is a better rapper, Skills or Uncle Murder? I'm like, well, I only listen to these niggas on January 2nd. Outside of that, I don't, you know what I'm saying?
Uncle Murder say the most disrespectful ever and shit ever. They be like, no disrespect. On the ad libs, like, nigga, you just said you'll fuck my baby mom on Roku. Like, are you okay?
But he dissed R. Kelly in the joint. That's what you made me think about it and shit. The one line, he's like, I ain't gonna front, I'm gonna miss Trump. That nigga funny. Obama gave us trap phones. Trump gave us re-up money. Like, it's funny as shit when he do them rap-ups. It's hilarious. His Jones is way more funny than
for
Skills
sure.
Jones.
Skills shit is like...
Skills is like an actual...
It's who, what, when, it's a chronology.
Yeah,
who,
exactly.
What, when, where, why, how.
Uncle Murder just like, Nicki fucked that money up. Like, yeah, it just be stupid shit. So I actually think he's funny. He comes from like that Casanova... Yeah. That style of
he was
screaming.
Casanova before Casanova.
Right. He has an actual song, though. That's like a hit.
Uncle Murder?
Yeah.
He had a couple songs that
What's
hit.
the big jump?
Uncle Murder was signed to fucking Rockefeller.
What's the big jump where he was screaming and hollering?
I don't even remember.
He had a joint. I can't think of it right now.
And then him and Mano had did like a group project, and the shit was killing in New York. And Birdman tried to sign him. Mano said, Birdman sent me the worst contract I ever seen in my life.
Get the strap.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that John a couple of times. I'm like, I know Uncle Murder got some actual shit.
He had like 3-4 joints over the years. Like, one thing about Uncle Murder, he know how to get a deal. And he was getting big money, too. He going in them offices getting $300,000 and shit.
But his wrap-up this year is over 3 different beats, and it's like older joints.
Oh, I'm going to check it out.
He goes over the dun, 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 the Frankie Beverly and Mays John. Then he go over, I want to thank you, Heavenly Father. He go over, like, it's dope the way he did it. I enjoy his wrap-ups. But bringing that up, it is New Year's.
Happy New Year, everybody. We dropped the ball. We should have had the noisemakers and the hats and all that shit.
Well, we got a lot of other nonsense coming up in the show. So How was your New Year's?
It was chill. It was perfect. I was home. I was with my lady. I got drunk. We got food catered from Fleming's. We played Connect 4. She kicked my ass 11 to 5.
And this was New Year's Eve or New Year's night?
Eve.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my New Year's Eve, and it was just a cool, smooth night. I didn't really do nothing. I didn't desire to go anywhere. I started seeing videos and all of that
shit. Jules, we don't desire to do that.
I started seeing all the underground New Year's Eve parties and all of that shit, and I was like, yeah, I'm glad I'm in the house. In my suburban zip code.
I worked New Year's Eve. I had to work New Year's Eve. And I was actually on my break because I have a break every night because I work late.
Okay.
From 11:10 to 12:05. So when it actually turned midnight, I was my lead texted me, my sisters, everybody was texting me and shit. And I'm like, damn, it is New Year's. How about it? You know what I'm saying? So I pull off at 12:05. I pulled off. I do the 27. So I left Barron Hill, Ridge Pike, Henry Ave, up through Roxborough, Manayunk, Wissahickon, get on 76. And that's my last trip downtown. I get downtown, I'm done. I pull in. I get on 76 and I'm riding, and to myself, I'm like, damn, 76 is completely empty from what it was all night. Yeah. Then when I come around the curve at Montgomery, I see a truck upside down. And I'm like, God damn, y'all starting with the nonsense early.
Shout out to Philly.
But let me tell you, I see the truck upside down. All the traffic has to get off of Girard. Traffic is backed up on 76 from Girard to 676. And I'm like, how the fuck you flip a truck? Just coming in, it just turned midnight. You know what I'm saying? Then when I got downtown, I saw the Twitter, 2 men shot on 70. And I'm just like, oh, Philly.
They said, oh, damn, we missed the 500 by 1. Get this shit started right ahead of midnight, man. Started the year
3 murders and 7 shot on New Year's Day.
That's nuts.
Crazy.
We just won't stop. And here's the thing. We did a whole year of that. We still don't know the reason why it's so up in Philly. Like, I have no clue as to what the fuck went on to jump the murders from like 320 to 500.
I saw the official statement released. New York has 8.9 million people in New York City. Yeah. We're not talking about the metros. Like in New York City. 8.9 million. They had 447 murders this year. It's like a game. This is what it sounds like.
Manhunt.
Yeah. Los Angeles has 6.1 million in their city. Yeah. They had 368 murders, I believe. And Philadelphia has 1.1 million in the city and 499 murders.
And allegedly only 42% of the city is black.
Right. Crazy.
So are we doing all the killing, or are we doing our share of killing per the demographics? Is what the fuck I want to know.
Per capita.
Per capita. Like, but that shit is wild. And it's like, we talked about it. The award show, like, yo, is we gonna get the 500? Oh no, that was the show after.
The show after.
Yeah, the show after. We talked about.
We were both wrong because you said
480 something.
We both were in the 80s. I think I said 87 and you said 82.
82 or 83 or something like that.
We were both wrong.
Yeah, the money was on the over.
We missed.
We missed bad.
Nah.
We missed bad, man. I sent out a nice little heartfelt message on New Year's, just understanding what had just happened with, closing the year out, COVID, all these murders, just a lot of nonsense in a new way of living for some of us. A lot of us are still doing whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
And I just wanted everybody to just be safe. Wherever, if they was out, take care of yourself, take care of whoever with you, and just avoid the nonsense. And the thing about Philly that's so scary is that you don't got to be the target of the nonsense to end up in the nonsense.
No, you can be talking to the crossing guard. You can be opening a fire hydrant for the children.
Yeah, you can just be walking down the street, minding your goddamn business.
Anything.
And get your issue. And, at some point, we're going to have to start policing our own communities so that the police don't have to, and holding people accountable for the nonsense and the destruction that they causing. Because if you look, like you said a bunch of episodes ago, like there's literally like 5 different Philadelphias. And it's like you go into these different little pockets and it's like this shit doesn't exist. Y'all wouldn't dare.
Tell you the craziest shit was I used to do the 9 in the afternoon, right? The 9, goes from Andorra down to 4th and Walnut. So when you come off the expressway, 30th Street, you go down Chestnut to 4th Street, turn to Walnut, take Walnut back up. every day this white lady with white hair would get on the bus. She'd get on, hey, how you doing? I would say, what's going on? She would talk to me every fucking day. And she'd just get on and say, hey, how you doing? So naturally, seeing her every day, seeing me every day, she started, you know, how's your day going? You know, how's it been? You know, what's going on with the traffic, whatever. So then we just started like speaking. Yeah. And I'm to myself like, where do I know this white lady from? Like, you just, somebody
seems, you get a sense that
somebody seems familiar. And I'm like, do I know this lady from like school? Like, I just feel like I've seen her before. Yeah. So one day I got to 4th and Walnut like normal. Yeah. She was still on the bus. She would get off and walk down 4th Street. Okay. She would get on every day at 21st and Chestnut and ride down to the end and get off and walk down 4th Street. So one day I got down there late. She was on the bus, so people were waiting at 4th and Walnut. There was like 2 or 3 people waiting to go, you know, back up. So basically I was dropping her off, picking them up, and I was out. As she got off of the bus, it was a white lady getting on. She's like, oh, hey, Lynn, how you been? And she said, hey, I'm good, you know, whatever. And she started walking down the street. And that's when it hit me. I'm like,
Lynn Abraham.
That's Lynn Abraham. That's the old district attorney. And it's like, she lives on 4th Street. Society. And it's just like, damn, she really hopped on the bus and walked down
every day.
And you know, and it's just like there really is like she don't even have a sense probably of what 58th and King Cecil. You know what I'm saying? Like she don't even like she don't live that life. So I'm just like, damn, that's crazy as shit to think that the old district attorney of Philadelphia who done put mad motherfuckers away is just
walking around
on the
freely.
bus, right?
Like, it ain't shit on a Tuesday. I'm chilling. I just came from getting my scones. I'm about to go back home.
But she was like, hey, Lynn, how you doing? That's when I swear I'm like, oh shit, that's Lynn Abraham. Yeah. Damn.
Just chilling.
Like there really are different Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it's like my whole thing is just like I'm just tired of like, you know, niggas being the last ones to know everything or see the writing on the wall. And it's like, fam, they've already pushed y'all out of Northern Liberties. Y'all couldn't go to Rittenhouse. You know, you can't go to Society Hill. You can't go to Old City. So it's like y'all don't see like this shit is not set up for y'all to thrive no more. Like it's over in terms of like nightlife, entrepreneurial, all of that shit. Everything got to go to a neighborhood review and all of that shit because they don't want the traffic of this nonsense. So what's going to end up happening is y'all going to be confined to the hoods that y'all either grew up in or y'all adopted, and the counties. And that's going to be the only place y'all going to be able to go and party, fucking have businesses and shit like that. Because the difference between black people and white people, yes, you go to fucking white bars, motherfuckers get smashed, they drink 32 beers, beat everybody up in the bar, all of that shit, but it stops there. The difference is niggas shoot shit up. And that's our first go-to. What'd you say, nigga? Stay right there. Yeah. And everybody got to die at that point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we got to police ourselves and just stop being so willing to just be on the nonsense. I know you saw the video from New Year's Eve in Atlanta at Republic.
That joint was ridiculous.
Niggas went full Chris Brown and Drake. Like, niggas threw bottles for 30 minutes.
I say, yo, to risk your life and everybody around you life to come out for a party just to get to the party and get hit with a Jägermeister, that has to stink.
Like, was that Rumbleman?
Dog, you get hit with an Alizé. You like, who the fuck ordered an Alizé?
Is that Rika vodka?
Was Jodeci in this motherfucker? Fuck ordered Alizé. Like, god damn.
Like, man, I know you used to party with Pac. You drinking hypnotic Alizé.
Up and down like a roller coaster. Like, yo, I'm not trying to get hit in the head with one of them joints.
Like, them joints don't break.
A scissor? Like, nah. That shit gonna hurt.
Freaky Zeke here. What the fuck is going on?
Like, that shit gonna hurt, man.
But yeah, niggas went full Chris Brown and Drake. The story that I got told from somebody that worked there basically said it was a situation where they had pre-sold the stage, 35,000, 100 people, and however much liquor they got. Where y'all got 100 people from, I have no fucking clue. To even gather to put this 35 racks together. That's neither here nor there. So apparently some people had migrated their way onto the stage and was trying to like Brody the area. Like, oh, this joint, it's at the midnight. This joint ain't nobody here yet. We just going Brody. And the waitress went and asked them, like, yo, y'all got to move, da-da-da, somebody pay for this, da-da-da. What, bitch, da-da-da? And it just turned into fucking chaos. They went behind the bar, cleared all the liquor out, throwing bottles, fighting with the security, fighting other people. Allegedly, three people got stabbed, I believe. And it's just like, yo, who the fuck wants to go to jail on New Year's? And who the fuck wants to go to jail on New Year's in an unfamiliar area?
Oh, who wants to get stabbed on New Year's?
Like,
why are you screaming like it's a slug? It's only the hawk. God damn, dog.
And it's just like, yo, and then niggas is right back the following weekend.
Hell yeah. Some shit popped off in Atlanta the other day, shooting out in front of a club and shit. And I'm just like, my thing be this. And it goes back almost to like the, like we just talked about, like the demographics.
Yeah.
And just, did you go on your prom?
Yes, on my senior prom only. I was truant.
You went to
year.
Central.
I went to Central, yeah.
So Central, I had to assume was like kind of mixed.
Completely mixed.
I would have to assume
Black, white, Asian, Indian, everything.
So I went to Saul. So we went to my senior prom, of course, and like niggas, you know what I'm saying? I had way too much shit. I had this big, I had the Biggie suit, Life After Death. It was July, you know what I'm saying? I mean, May, I'm sorry. It was May 31st was my prom. And, I had this big, ridiculous suit. Of course, I went with Desiree. She, chick, hair all over the place. Heels, it was this big and shit. I had a cane. You know what I'm saying?
You went full Life After Death.
Full Hollywood Shuffle. Like, it was ridiculous. So we had a stretch excursion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was about 5 or 6 other couples in the joint with me. It was ridiculous. Stretch excursion in 2002. Yeah, this is cash money and shit. You know what I'm saying? Going to the prom, the one thing I noticed being in that my school was predominantly white.
Yeah.
We got to the prom, and all of the black kids, we all had big, ridiculous LeBron James suits, Gucci this, Fendi that. All the girls were in 19-inch heels that they could barely walk in, 10 pounds of weave, like to the point where like you couldn't even move. And then the white people, they had on bullshit ass suits.
Yeah, regular tux from fucking Men's Warehouse.
White girls was doing cartwheels. They was sliding across the floor. Like, yo, they having a time of their life. It was white chicks that was coming in there with dresses and Converses, like Chuck Taylor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, we're just so over the top.
Yeah, with everything.
We can't even really get into the shit. You know what I'm saying?
You want to hear what one of my close friends wore to prom? Nigga wore a full white Lakers warm up with a Kobe Bryant jersey. Kobe's, and he had the braids with the hairline with the full dye job, the whole Beijing, the whole shit.
Jules had a leather pants, leather jacket, Jordans on.
I wore linen and leather.
Oh wow!
I had on white linen. Brown linen belt, brown and cream Caesar Piccati shoes, and a brown summer leather jacket.
Oh, you went full case. You went full happily ever after.
I went full Terrence Howard.
I wanted to wear Concords on my prom. I wanted to wear the whole suit tux thing with the Concords, and my mom was not going for it.
Boy, act like you got some damn sense.
I was like, Jules wore the Jordans though, and she was just like, well, he don't live here. So, and I'm just like, damn.
Good times.
Hated on me.
Prom.
But yeah, no, that's really like, even when it comes to, and now as us as like older, it's like so over the top. And I look at like, cause I got white friends, when they go out, they'll get like roasted drunk, and it'll just be like, that's it.
Yeah.
The most they might get is a DUI.
Right.
That's it.
17 weekends in jail.
Even if a fight breaks out at the bar, it's like, dude, somebody could sock somebody. He'd be like, dude, what the fuck? Fuck, man, get him a beer. The fuck
you hit me, man?
What you so angry for? Like, whereas like on the flip side, a simple word.
The AR coming out.
A simple misunderstanding of words where it ain't even
move, nigga.
It ain't even no fight.
Yeah. Don't move, my nigga. Stay right where you at.
I told you.
Say less. I didn't even say nothing.
Feet drugged me into what has now become Uncut North.
Okay.
And it's not even Uncut
on 22nd
anymore.
Street. It's Bucky's now.
Yeah. At the time, it was called Jolly's North.
Yes.
And one of them.
This was old school.
Yeah, one of them skeevy nights. He drugged me in there, and we got in there, and I guess he knew the DJ, because, DJ booth was like up some steps or whatever.
Yeah.
So we was up there or whatever, and I'm just like, it felt like the beginning of Belly, but I didn't have context. You know what I'm saying? Like it was way too much going on.
Or a biker jacket.
Yeah, but this wasn't a heist. You know what I'm saying? And I'll never forget, the chick was like, yo, buy me a hookah to me. Yeah. And I was just like, I don't even know you. And she's like, what? Fuck, don't be on no nut shit. And I'm like, how am I on some nut shit?
You just sitting here trying to rationalize with this hood rat.
And one or two more words got said, and she was like, fuck, yo, I real shit I get you fucking dealt with. And I'm like, what the fuck?
How did we get here? How did we get here? Nobody's supposed to be here.
Dog,
what is going on?
So it's like, yeah, that energy is just, it's crazy.
Yeah.
One night I was driving the 33, the last 33, and coming past the Jollies, and the party had spilled out into the street. Bitches was twerking, and when I pulled up with the bus, they stopped in front of the bus and pulled down the bike rack and started twerking on the. And I'm like, now they gotta sanitize the bike, the bike rack, but they pulled out the joint and was getting busy, and they wouldn't let me go down the street. Bitches was like 6-7 bitches in the street, dancing on top of the car, dancing on the bike rack and shit. Jolly's North, man.
Gotta love North. North Philly is its own everything.
Yeah,
like
it's a sovereign state,
and not just one part. The whole North, like. And that's the biggest part of the city. The whole North is its own thing, and depending on where you at, it's more. Like parochial to that particular area. Did
I tell you I had an anti-masker situation the other day?
Oh no, it's lit. Let's get it.
Yo, so I was the anti-masker by accident. Yo, you made me think about this shit. So my wrist has been killing me. I don't know what the fuck is. I think I might have some carpal tunnel shit. But anyway, I wanted some Tylenol. I didn't have none with me. So I'm like, I'm going to go over to the Poppy store and have Tylenol. I had a mask. I always have one in my jacket.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I was doing, but I got out of my car and left it on my center console. So when I was walking into the Poppy store, now mind you, this is the Poppy store in the hood. It says no mask, no entry. But motherfuckers be in there I drive
all
by,
day.
I see them all day.
Niggas be in there making their own food with no mask on.
So
no, Pop, you fucking it up.
Yo,
let me show you how to make this joint.
So in my mind, I'm literally going in, yo, let me get a Tylenol, $1.
And I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. So I walk in. It's an older gentleman standing there. He's like in the aisle. And it's a younger, I don't want to sound rude or ignorant, but the women that live life as men. Y'all laughing. I'm being so serious. Because I don't. What's the technical term?
Alternative lifestyle.
Okay, that. It's a woman, but she's.
And that might get us in trouble.
She's a woman, but she's clearly on some like. She's acting like a guy.
Okay.
Type shit. You know, I don't know, but she had on like a Dickie set and some tattoos on her face and. But it's like a nigga, but it's a woman.
But she might be pregnant next week. You never know. Like somebody might get big bro pregnant.
When I walk in, she's on the phone, like she's talking on the phone, standing at the ATM.
Yeah.
So I'm not paying her no mind. So it's a young girl at the counter paying for her stuff, whatever. She on the phone and she just like, like they be fucking up, like drawing on the block. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my block. How y'all come to my block and make it high? And I'm just like hearing her in my background, like, fuck is she talking? You know, whatever. So then. I'm about to step up to the joint. I'm like, as I'm about to talk, I hear her say, you don't got no mask, but I'm not paying her no mind. Yeah. So I was like, hey, can I get a Tylenol real quick? An extra strength Tylenol, just a little pack, you know? So she turned around, she's like, yeah, they under here. She's like, yeah, you need a mask, yo, that COVID thing serious. And I'm still not, she like, I know you hear me, dog. And I'm still like, because I'm not paying her mind. She was on the phone.
I'm doing what I'm doing.
So she was like, yo, Scepter, like, you don't hear me?
Yo, Scepter.
So that's when I turned around. I'm like.
Now it's about to go left.
So I'm like, you talking to me? And she was like, yeah, like, where your mask at? And I'm like, I do that. I'm like, you out of your fucking mind? And she was like, yo, like, yo, this is my block. Like, you can't talk crazy. I'm like, I don't give a fuck where we. And the mommy was like, take. So I'm just like, the fuck is going on? So she was like still rapping, some more other shit. So I'm like, listen, young man. And then when I said that, that's when all hell kind of like broke loose. I'm like, whatever, man. I'm going to fuck to work. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Listen, and she was still hooting and hollering as I walked the fuck out. And I'm just like, I'm not even an anti-masker, but I'm like, this is how fast them stupid situations go. And people be on World Star screaming and hollering and getting drunk out of the store.
She went full Nancy Pelosi on you in a hurry.
And it was because the crazy part was she didn't have her mask on. Like her mask was like under her.
But I got one.
Just like,
but I got one. You playing?
Yo. So yeah, I had me a little anti-masker situation the other day. North Philly. That's what it all boils down to. Just being out there and in it. Did you have any nonsense or anything before we get into our rundown? No. Good week.
Nope. I've been staying out of trouble and away from people.
Yeah, that's honestly the best place to be and the best, where to be.
I don't want to see any of these people. Like, I don't want to run into y'all. Like, I'm about to change my phone number for the first time in like damn near 20 years. Like,
I saw you going off the other day about giving people fuck yous or something.
Oh yeah, no, I was because it's just like it's basically like a situation where. It's like it's relationship stuff, but it's like, when people start trying to put themselves in your relationship for their own benefit or for their own, like, because they're jealous or miserable or whatever like that, and trying to like spin a narrative on something that they don't know nothing about. So basically what it comes down to is a friend of somebody, a friend of a friend, whatever, somebody that I know. We had a cool relationship. We were friends. I hooked her up with a close friend of mine, all of that shit. And it's like, I was the greatest nigga ever when that happened. Now it's like, oh, you starting to see like, my girl elevating past you. And now it's like, no, you gotta stop dealing with this. It's like one of them situations. And it's like, it's all bullshit and material driven because I don't talk to you. You don't know what's going on with our relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of them things where it's like, in a moment of distress, my girl is venting to her, so now she thinks she know everything, and now it's like, oh, you gotta leave this nigga because so-and-so said, and it's like, yo, be a friend or not be a friend.
Right.
But if you're not gonna be a friend, then
you can't really get mad. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it was just like one of them situations, and it's like, damn, it's like, I'm a good nigga, just in general, how I live my life. I fucking help people, look out for motherfuckers, give people free advice, business, all types of shit. Hook people up with niggas who dicks that they own, everything. And at some point, it's like people always go out of their way to like turn on me. It's like, yo, what the fuck is going on here?
You ever hear the phrase, if you give people an inch, they'll take a mile?
Yeah. These motherfuckers will take 55 miles.
90 kilometers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just my whole thing. And it's like my thing going forward for the rest of this year is limiting access to certain people. I take 50, 60 phone calls, text messages, whatever, a day from different people that all want something different from me. And I try my best to give them, whether it's a conversation or my energy or steering them in the right direction, whatever it may be. But I'm tired of the shit for real. And it's like, yo, I got shit that I need to do for me. We got to scale this fucking media company. Hey. I got other businesses that I got to scale this fucking year. And it's like, I don't have time to entertain these bullshit conversations.
Like, honestly, in the last couple years, the fact that I've like almost like retracted my like goings-ons of other people and what they got going to the point now where I don't even be noticing shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't even honestly, I don't even be caring to notice or know. Right. I be telling people all the time, be like, yo, so-and-so said something. I be like, dog, listen, at this juncture of life, I'm so positive that if you have a problem with me, that's between you and the God you serve.
Yeah.
Leave me out of it. I'm at the gym or I'm at work.
Yeah.
I got 3 main goals I'm focused on this year. If it ain't that, I really don't get. It's nothing I can do.
And that's another thing. I'm not entertaining no op energy from nobody.
I said that
I'm on a 0 tolerance for that shit. If somebody allegedly got a problem with me, because I don't have a problem with no motherfucker allegedly got a problem with me, and you following me and following them, that means that you entertained by whatever bullshit that they pulling, and you don't need to be entertained by me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do us both the favor and separate you from me. And when you reach out to me and ask me, hey, why so, op energy. Like I'm on some Meek shit. I'm not tolerating no op energy from nobody. I'm not doing that. Oh, you call me and then call this person and so. I'm not doing none of that.
Like,
I'm 37 years old. I'm a grown fucking man with businesses, family responsibility, all that shit. I'm not entertaining that shit, and I will curse you the fuck out and it'll go wherever you wanted to go. I'm not entertaining no op energy from nobody, male, female, cat, dog, frog, none of that shit. It's not going that way.
I felt you. I feel the energy on that one. It's like, I think I'm in the same type, John. I'm just at the point where I don't care. I've realized this being around like the people a lot. Like it's all bullshit. It's all
exactly.
It's all not even a menstrual stroke. I'm gonna say
it's just a temporary distraction.
No, I'm saying more so like an optical illusion, like smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's just like. You know how they have the elephant on the stage and then poof, and the elephant ain't there? Yeah. It's like that type shit. And I just to myself sometimes sit back and just be like, yo, if you have 4 kids, right? you got bigger fish to fry than somebody saying something about you on Twitter or somebody doing this or some. And I, you know, I've just really reached a point in life where it's like, no, I be like how you say you take calls from 60 people a day. I take calls from 6, maybe.
Right.
I'm not even joking. 6 or 7 people. Like real shit. I talk to you. I talk to Dan. I talk to, because we got the chat. I got Jules and Ra, and that's it. I seen one of my close homies for like 15 years the other day. He pulled up on me. He was just like, damn, dog, like you ain't hit me in a little minute. And I'm just like, I hate to break it to you, man, but like you didn't make the team. You know what I'm saying?
You got left in 2019.
And it's not a diss.
Yeah.
Nipsey said it best. Everybody can't go.
No bullshit.
And that's just the reality of it. Like if I'm literally at the point where I get off work at 1 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I be at the gym at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning. So it's like I literally get off sleep and be up because I'm on a certain regiment where I'm, you know, it's just I this is where I'm at right now.
Yeah, motherfuckers got to get on your schedule, got to get on your routine. But it also, besides them capitulating to what you want, they got to just not be on some nonsense to even make the rotation.
My thing is like if you're one of my lifelong homies and shit, and Rod know exactly what I'm talking about when he hear this. We grew up together. He's ridiculous. You know what I'm like? You ever have a friend that's just ridiculous? Mm-hmm. Like just always, when you see the joint and the name goes sideways, you like 500 murders. And then, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how you be, because it'd be like, I know this is about to be some nonsense. I'm in the bed. I get off work at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I get home 1:15, 1:20. If I'm hungry, I eat. 9 times out of 10, because I be doing the whole fast and shit, I won't even eat. So it's like I'm tired. I've lifted weights like a motherfucker before work. I done worked a fucking 10, 11-hour run.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I get off work. I'm winding down. I take melatonin a lot of times just to help me sleep.
Yeah.
So that shit kicks in. I'm in the bed. I'm asleep. Phone rings. 3:51 a.m.
Oh, God.
I see the name. What's your natural reaction when you see a phone call from somebody you don't talk to
Emergency.
all the time at 4 in the morning?
It must be emergency.
Emergency.
Yeah.
The fuck is going on? Yo. What's up? Yo, real talk. Do you think Volume 1 is better than Cam's second album? And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And what speakeasy are you in right now having this?
He like, no,
debate?
you know SDE, right? Like, do you honestly think Volume 1 is better than SDE, or is it just that we like Hov more than we like Cam? And I'm like, you can't be fucking serious right now. He like, dog, like, I know you know, like, give me, come on. And I'm just like, man, Volume 1 better, dog. I'm going back to sleep. He like, I told y'all niggas. I'm just like, man.
What gambling house are you in right now doing this at 4 in the morning?
And it just be like shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I don't have like the negative. I like some of y'all are just so depleted.
Yes.
Of positive energy and good people and good things.
Yeah.
That goes into the shit we was talking about yesterday, where it's like, this is the reason why y'all are in these clubs when you don't need to be there.
Right.
Why you in these? It's like, what is it about your home life that you hate that much?
Everything.
That you like, no, I got to go to Wichita, Kansas, because they open till 3 in the morning. It's like, what is it? This shit is wild, man. It's deep. We'd almost need a psychologist to come up here.
No, for sure. For sure, man. But it's just like, you know, bad shit happens to good people sometimes. My whole thing is I'm just going to limit the amount of bad shit that happens to me and the amount of negative interactions that I intake, not only this year, but just going forward, period. Like, I can't deal with this shit. Like a man enters his financial earning prime around sometime between 35 and 40. We got a lot of money to fucking make and a lot of ground to make up. And, you know, we're on the cusp of doing something great with this fucking show. And that's all I'm singularly focused on.
I said it the other day. I'm like, man, some of the conversations and talks that are going on and some of the things that could pop, I'm telling you, like how they be like, when I pop up married, don't ask me no questions.
No
I'm
bullshit.
like, my thing is, I'm going to buy a Phantom. I'm going to write it off as a business expense for research purposes. Because we talk a lot on the show about things. And I want to be, when Meek said the Phantom so big it can't fit in the parking spot, I want to get one to see.
Research.
This is research. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you see me in a Phantom, don't ask me no questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just know what's up, bitch.
Yeah.
And that's just where it's at.
So you want to get into some of these topics?
Let's get into this first one, man. We made the top podcast list.
Hey, man, where the fuck is Taylor at? He didn't left the damn studio. We need some claps, man.
Taylor out there buying weed. What the fuck is going on? Oh, here he is. He's back.
So we need some claps, man. TR, finally some recognition around this bitch. The best of 2020 Philly edition. Top podcast of 2020. Realest podcast ever, $1 million worth of game, The Hood Therapist, The Real G Funny Podcast, Philly John Podcast, shout out Tiff, Miss September, Unforgiven Podcast, The Chocolate Chip and Sip Podcast, and Fuck With Philly Podcast. That's PHUCK with Philly Podcast also. Shout out to everybody that was acknowledged. Shout out to everybody that didn't get acknowledged. Keep working. Keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? We have been at this shit for 4 years now. Our anniversary show is in 2 weeks. And
gotta do that before I bounce.
Yeah, for sure. It's just like we still got a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's like, but the culmination of being recognized is good enough for me. Like, I don't need to be number one. I'm on the list, cool. From there, we can figure out where the fuck we going.
I want a Phantom and to be recognized. Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? Definitely want the recognition.
So shout out to Hip Hop Since 1987 for putting us on the list. I don't know what the criteria was, what type of research they did, whatever, but they picked us, and now they follow us on IG at official TRPE. So shout out to them, and much more stuff to come, man, for sure.
Even with that, I saw like the Philly,
Oh man, it came right out.
I
posted it on all my media, fucking IG post, IG story, podcast page, posted the joint came right out. Yeah, fuck y'all better than so. So I'm just like, fam. It says number one, the list is not in order.
Right.
Number two, these are all great shows. I've listened to majority of them, not all of them. I can't cap, but I've listened to majority of them, and people do what they do, and everybody that's what's dope about podcasting is everybody brings something different to the game. Like, and I don't want no podcast beef. I want to go on all those podcasts.
Right.
Come on our podcast
that's
and
the
share the fucking audience.
That's the shit with like, I ain't even gonna say Philly, just us in general.
Urban culture.
I had a tweet the other day. I said, the biggest problem facing our community is we have a sick, twisted love affair with nonsense. Yeah. Like any nonsense. This is why Love and Hip Hop is so successful.
That's why Shade Room, Basketball, and shit.
Because we love bullshit. Yeah. We love it.
Dr. King got to be looking down at us like, y'all failed. Y'all failed miserably.
Like, I could have stayed my ass in the house.
I could have chilled the fuck out. Been alive right now if I would have known that this was going to be the end result.
Had me walking all over the place and y'all playing games. I could have just chilled.
Montgomery bus boycotts, all types of shit, and y'all just this nigger nonsense.
I remember my dad was like, why do you have so many sneakers? I was ordering sneakers and kept coming to his house. What is the purpose in all these sneakers? Huh? Martin Luther King ain't had this many sneakers. I'm like, do you know Martin Luther King? Do you know? Like, what does this even mean? What do you make me think about that?
Wasn't that many sneaks out when MLK was doing his thing?
Yeah, they was marching in shoes.
Hard bottoms.
Yeah. Stacey Adams is on.
On point like Stacey Adams.
Yeah. Tripping. But no, real talk. We have like a love affair with just nonsense. Yeah. Like anything that happened, it's got to be a confrontation. It's got to be some hostility. It's got to be some bickering. It's got to. That's that Love and Hip Hop shit. Where it's like we can't just sit here and be normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just what it is. I saw the commercial the other day. Apparently, they're combining all the Love and Hip Hops now.
Of course they are. And they have no more tricks left.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, and just every joint that they like on the commercial. I haven't watched the show in years. Every single person that they show, oh, the tea is hot. I got the tea, and the tea is piping, and it's just like that. The tea. That's all we care about. Literally, the tea. Stupid. This shit is bullshit.
Dumb shit, man.
Nonsense. So it's just like, whenever I see things like this, it's like, it goes back to where we always go to. For me, the biggest one in recent years is the Cardi and Nicki thing. Right. We literally acted like that so much that they started believing it.
Yeah, we perpetuated the beef as a culture, and then they was like,
and they fed into it.
We might as well beef then.
Nah, bitch, eat the shoe, bitch. It's ridiculous.
We might as well beef then. Fuck.
Like there was no beef. And somehow people like, is it Cardi, is it Nicki? Is Nicki hating on Cardi? Is Cardi taking Nicki's spot? And da-da-da-da-da. And we watched it every single year because people were sick of Nicki. When Remy Ma got out and had a song, it was like, oh, Remy Ma. Then it was like, no, it ain't Remy Ma. It's like, oh, it's Cardi. And it to the point where they all started beefing.
Yes.
And even when Nicki blew up, it's like, oh, Kim officially done because to where Nicki and Kim was beefing. And it's just like.
Here's the thing. The biggest problem with black culture is our media, our social media, all of that shit. We cover shit with such a biased angle and a slant to it where you'll egg a situation on until it happens, and then once people start busting motherfuckers' heads open, oh man, they stupid. I don't know why the fuck they would do this shit. Like
somebody could start a podcast right this week. Yo, we just started a podcast. The podcast out. Somebody will come up to me. You know what they'll say? Yeah, I seen so and so got a podcast. They ain't fucking with y'all though. And it'd be like, bro, they started Tuesday.
like they consulted me on how to start the podcast.
It's just that.
Yeah.
Like there has to be some
thirst to be number one, and it's like
it's not even the thirst to be number one. I think it's just the thirst for drama.
Oh yeah,
I think that more so because what are we number one of? What are Wallow and Gilly number one of? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying?
It's all imaginary titles. all imaginary. Like, what did we win?
At the end of the day, motherfucker, you want to keep it a buck and keep it a bean. Fucking Joe Rogan is the undisputed king of podcasting, and he don't ever be on that tip.
Right.
I'm crushing everybody and can't nobody fuck with me as far as viewership and money made. And this nigga's got $100 million deal just on one platform.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? It just amazes me at how we at times just be like, no matter what, if you start selling chicken wings, the other girl who sell chicken wings on Philly Instagram, there has to be some
smoke
chicken wing beef. Next thing you know,
you know I was making wings first.
Next thing y'all know, you see a video of them rumbling in the oil aisle at Sam's Club, and you're just like, what the fuck? Like, this shit is crazy. There just always has to be drama for people to feed into something. Bullshit. And it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to be that ever. Yeah. Let alone all the fucking time. He did the joint with the top rappers, unsigned and signed. You should have seen the comments.
Oh, I can imagine that. That's why I'm glad we got a podcast.
He ain't hotter than so-and-so, and he was a bitch in middle school. I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, this shit is crazy, dog. It's nuts, but that's always the energy. But shout out to Hip Hop Since 1987. Top podcast list for 2020. Hopefully we on there for 21.
Yeah, I think so. I think so, man. You know, shout out to our YouTube. We don't talk about our YouTube viewership enough. Our YouTube viewership like kind of blew up the last few weeks, man.
I think we might be at 3,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I just checked it this morning. We're at like 3,060 subscribers. So shout out to our YouTube viewership. I'm gonna start linking y'all to the YouTube page in the description on all of the audio, whatever y'all can rewatch the show. And shout out to obviously Vicky, New Generation Television, putting us on the TV platform, Roku TV. We're going to be on Apple TV very soon, as well as Fire Stick with Amazon also. And that's just going to continue to expand the audience. And you know, it's situations like this where it's like, you know, we're grassroots in nature, and you know, in sticking with that, we got with another grassroots company to help partner, get it on the ground level, and build it up. And the fucking show is blowing the fuck up. The show and the network is blowing up.
Somebody came up to me the other day in the gym, white girl, and she see me in the gym all the time, whatever. I guess I just, you know, you just see people, you just, whatever. And she came up to me and was like, you know, I saw you on Facebook. And I was like, okay, I be on there. You know what I'm saying?
On the book? What's going on?
You know? And she was like, you know, I saw you on some page. It was like a fitness page or whatever, but it had one of your like side by sides. And I was like, oh, I think he goes to the gym that I go to. And I was like, you know, here I am. You know what I'm saying? And she was just like, I don't know if anybody told you, but she was like, just like seeing where you started and like where you're at, like the dedication is like it's pretty decent. And I'm like, yeah, no doubt, I appreciate it, you know, whatever. And me and her just started like having a conversation. It wasn't no freaky shit, you know what I'm saying? But it was just the convo we were having about like where she was at when she started and what's going on with it. And you know, just we stand at the bar, like the little smoothie bar, whatever, talking. And one thing that she said that like kind of like stuck with me is like people have this thing where they don't see instant success and they kind of get discouraged and they kind of think like, oh, it's never going to happen for me, whatever it is you might be worried about. And I see that a lot, especially when it comes to something like this, or somebody trying to be a rapper, or somebody trying to be a painter, or somebody trying to be a shit, anytime,
realistically, any type of
anything.
entrepreneur or anything like that.
It's like people will be like, oh, that shit is small scale, or that shit is
Right.
and it'd be like, bro, this is the thing you don't understand. Jay-Z was a small scale local rapper.
Exactly, for like a decade.
I know that like might shock some of y'all because you know he's a billionaire and he owns Rock Nation and Rockaware and Rockefeller and all these different things, but it's like DMX was robbing niggas and battling at night.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He was moonlighting as a rapper.
I know this might shock you and shit, but it's like, yeah, there aren't really that many Little Waynes where you're like a superstar at 16.
Right.
Yeah, that's just not the reality of it. So it's like with anything, you kind of gotta put the work
It's
in.
crazy. I was talking to my man about that. Shout out my man Mill at Filthy Philly 6 on all platforms. He
That's my man. I actually need to get a paid hoodie.
Yeah, that we was talking about the podcast and the clothing line and like juxtaposing them against each other and basically like, bro, like people don't be understanding like you gotta put the time in.
He was one of my consiglières on my grandpa's whole block.
Yeah, that's
all
my
the,
guy.
All the nonsense going down. I'm like, no, man, I got J.O. Mill, but he's my guy.
So we talking and I'm like, bro, like he was like, man, he's like people be wanting overnight success with everything. And like, that's just not how life works. And I'm telling him, I'm like, bro, you got to put the time in. You got to put the 10,000 hours in, whether it be in front of the camera or on the scenes or behind the scenes. You got to put the fucking time in and put the work in. And you got to learn your craft. You got to master your craft and then perfect your craft. And at the end of the day,
and you got to get down and dirty. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be willing to do the fucking work. You can't cheat the process. Now, certain people in certain instances, like they may have a leg up on certain situations or their path may seem easier, but you still got to work.
Sometimes lightning strikes. It's just
Exactly.
It's the reality of it. But sometimes you look at you watch Power 2?
Yes.
The professor has to follow Tyreek to get a goddamn novel off the ground. It's just what it is. It's
Exactly.
like sometimes you got to get in the trenches and get with it. And it's just like, yeah, I go in the gym and like, you know, I'm not trying to talk shit. Yo, I go hard in that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like I check myself sometimes at like what I'm benching and what I'm able to shoulder press now and leg press. And I remember, no bullshit, my first couple times doing the leg press in the gym, I'm talking about 3 plates on each side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like fucking 200 and what is that? 270 pounds.
Yeah.
That shit was like my body weight, like pressing that with my legs was like, goddamn.
Yeah.
And I looked at the video of me doing the 1,000 pounds the other day with no leg reps, and I'm just like, damn, I do that with ease now.
Right.
Like I had 850 on the hamstring machine today and was doing that. I did 5 sets of 15, and it's just like, just knocking them off, ripping them, and it's just like, yeah, it's like you gotta work. People, like when you see somebody benching 5, that's my, like somebody asked me the other day, do I have any like New Year's resolutions or do I have any like goals or anything like that?
Yeah.
I'm like, as far as like the fitness shit, and I was like, being honest, I've done everything that I like kind of had set out to at the beginning.
Your
like
prior goals.
I lost 100 pounds. I lost 200. I benched my own body weight. I got to where I could leg press 1,000 pounds, and I wanted to be able to do 50 miles on a bike. I did 81 one day. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I've hit everything. At this point, I'm kind of just prop betting, like just finding new shit to try to do.
To challenge yourself.
Right. So my new joint is, at my heaviest, I weighed 507. I want to bench 507.
Gotcha.
So it's like I put up 365 the other day. I was at 345. I put 20 pounds on it. I pushed 365 twice. So it's like it's going to take me a while to get where I can push 507. But that's the point I was making. It's like when you see somebody pressing 500, that nigga been pressing probably since he was 16, 17 years old, and now he's 35. So it's like you don't just walk in the gym.
Like throw it up. Nickel.
It's funny
Nickel
because
me.
I always mention Jamie Foxx, Foxhole.
Yeah.
He had a joint where he was talking about Terry Crews owes him $2,000. You ever hear this story?
No.
He was like, they were at the house, they were playing basketball, and he was like, I still don't know why, but Terry Crews wore a spaghetti top tank top to purposely show off his titty meat. And we was just like, yo, it's all guys here. Like, why do you have that shirt on? So he was like, all right, nigga, we get it, you strong. And he was like, yeah, he just like on some flex and shit was like, yeah, you know I'm benching 500. And he was like, you're not benching 500. And he was like, no, real shit, like I'm pushing 500. He like, bro, you strong and you got a lot of muscles and shit, but pushing 500 is like professional power lifter or like bodybuild. Like you're not pushing 500. You know, you. He was like, you didn't make it in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? You're not pushing.
Let's go down the checklist.
You're not pushing 500. He's like, nigga, I can do 500 with ease. He's like, what you trying to bet on it? I tell you what. let's put a stack on it, $1,000. He's like, he talking shit like, let's make it 2. Like, okay, money ain't gonna run out. Let's do it right now. $2,000. He was like, right now. He's like, right now. I got a gym in the basement right now. He's like, so we leave the court. We in my, he flexing like we in my crib. We leave the court. Go down to the gym. He's like, we start putting the plates on the bar. 1 plate, 2 plate on each side, 3 plate on each side, 4 plate on each side. I'm out of 45 plates because, it's a small home gym. So he's like, we put a 25 on, another 25 on, another 10 on. He's like, the bar starts bending. It's 455 on the joint, the bar bending. So he was like, this how I know. Terry Crews like, how much is that? He's like, nigga, if you bench 500, you should know. You should know what, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, we put the all the weight we got on is 475. He's like, I tell him, bench that. Bench the 475. That, and you do that, I can see by how you do it. Yeah, he can press 5. Do the 475. He's like, bro, he gets under it, right? He can't even get the bar off of the rack. Like, we have to, spot him. He was like, my nigga, we spot him, get the bar off of the rack. He's like, as we getting ready to lift it, I'm telling him, like, listen, nigga, my insurance ain't the greatest. Like, you know what I'm saying? Before you fuck yourself up in here,
go super left.
Just let's not do this shit. He like, no, nigga, it's straight. I ain't, come on, let it go. He's like, bro, we let the shit go, my nigga. You ever see somebody jump off of a building into one of them air? It's like, that's how the weight went into his chest. I thought his titties was gonna break. It's like, I told you can't press no fucking 500. He's like, where my $2,000? He's like, man, my money in the car. I go get the money out of the car. Nigga gets in the car and pull the fuck out. I was like, I ain't seen this pussy since.
That's out of pocket. Yeah, I can lift 500 like it ain't.
So it's like, yeah, Terry Crews just off rip can't press 5. You're like, pushing 5 is hard as fuck.
That's crazy shit.
Like, I push 365 and that shit is like a fight to get that shit. And I'm a pretty strong nigga. And mind you, I weigh 300. Right. So it's like, you pushing your body weight is a little bit easier when you lay. Like, you weigh 200,
like 220.
So you pressing 200 is a big deal because that's your body weight.
Yeah.
So it's like, to walk around pressing 2.5 times your body weight, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, that's superhuman.
That's NFL type shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't just walk into things and be able to do big things just on the strength. It don't work like that. Yeah. Even when you look at somebody like Drake, who's the biggest artist on the planet, Drake was doing house shows.
As a singer. He wasn't even really rapping like that.
So it's just, you got to work to get there, and people need to understand that process. That's all I was kind of getting into. You want to talk about Clubhouse, or you want to talk about the Popp Hunna situation?
Let's do Clubhouse first. Okay. So
I got on Clubhouse the other day.
Are you on there?
I got off of there.
Got on and got off?
I finally accepted an invite.
Yeah.
I was bored as shit. Excuse me. I was like, all right, you know what? Let me, so I can see for myself.
Let me just peruse around and see what's going on.
I saw a room. That wasn't a joke when I said that on a tweet. I saw a room that was discussing reconfiguring the power structure in America based off of the black dollar. I clicked onto the room. They were discussing dinner with Jay-Z or $10,000. I said, you know what?
Y'all are dickheads.
I can't do this.
Yeah, y'all are dickheads.
Ain't no way on earth, dog.
If that's your first room, you're like, it can't get no better.
And Ra is trying his hardest to sell us.
Bro,
on Clubhouse.
I got 360 followers on Clubhouse. I have no idea why. Because all I do is come on here and on Twitter and on Instagram and tell people how much I hate Clubhouse. Yo. And they keep following me. And I don't have nothing interesting to say. I don't have no perspective on the bullshit ass conversations that y'all are having. And like, I be seeing these rooms and it's like, y'all be bringing people up that I deal with that I know are retarded. Like, I love these people. They're cool people. I know they're retarded and they don't have no real perspective on anything.
My thing is, I don't understand what listening to people talk. Basically, you're eavesdropping on phone conversations.
Exactly.
I don't understand how that's gonna help you. And like, if you're trying to be an actor, I don't understand what listening to Malcolm Jamal Warner talk about. I don't.
So on a set of Malcolm and Eddie, it became a real contentious situation. I had my trailer, he had his.
The Gordon Cottrell shirt was 86. Things have changed. I don't understand the purpose of listening to this.
That shit is wild, man. And it's like, I got my homie Mel. He works with Core and a couple of producers and stuff like that. And he's like big on Clubhouse. Like he ingratiated himself in the Clubhouse well. And he be running like these good rooms with like Kim Chanel from Audio Mac and shit like that. And even he's like burnt out with the shit. Like he was one of the early adopters. And he's like, bro, I hate.
I saw someone made a video threat the other day for stealing a room
with the stick poking out.
With the extendo.
The stick poking out, so you know it's not a game.
I've never seen somebody with a gun on their waist with the ladder poking out of the. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, he said 21 Savage, you a bitch.
It was 21 Savage stole his room.
Yeah, I invited
Clubhouse.
you in my room, and instead of just coming over like a real nigga, you stole my room. I'm like, is this a thing?
Yo.
Like, and I tweeted the other day, I said, Clubhouse is nothing but another hub of urban, like, destruction.
Yeah.
Nonsense. Like y'all do is use these apps to foster beef with each other. Like,
Hub of destruction.
like, it's an urban hub of destruction. Like, this shit is nuts. Like,
niggas really do be needing hubs of destruction.
A nigga went on World Star Hip Hop and threatened to kill a multi-platinum rapper that owns his masters in front of the world
over a room
on Clubhouse that is still in beta. We didn't even do the full rollout yet. You still need an invite to get on that motherfucker.
Shit. It's still on Facebook.
We're still in beta and niggas want to smoke, man. Like, y'all are dickheads. Like, I hate y'all.
Oh, man. Niggas really be needing the hubs of destruction. Like, what can I get into today?
Exactly. Like, what's the day? Tuesday? I ain't got nothing going on. Let me log on here, fuck with some niggas. Invite some niggas to my man parts. Like,
yo.
What is wrong with y'all?
Yeah, man. But,
so, last Monday, after we left here, around 11 o'clock, Meek kicked off a room, and the title of the room was, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like, this a Philly room addressing all issues. So basically, he's inviting people that have issues with who this person, that person, whatever. Come, state your grievance. We're going to talk it out like men, and we either going to squash the shit or we're going to agree to go our separate ways, including him. So
even that, though, if he had been like, yo, this is a room to show love to everybody, room wouldn't have popped.
Nobody would have been.
No one would have cared about that room.
Addressing all issues.
Niggas is pulling up.
Niggas is pulling up. So the room hit probably like 2,000 pretty quick, whatever. And then, at some point, the tension starts to build in the room because the first hour was like just niggas saying dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? And then Pastor Carl got on there trying to stop niggas from saying dumb shit. Meek especially. And Meek was like, I ain't gonna hold you, Pastor Carl. I'm wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like MLK. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to these niggas, I can't not respond. That's like MLK not standing up for black people. And at that point, I jumped out the room. I got out the room. And I had to go to Twitter and make sure I heard what I heard. So I went to Twitter and asked them, did he just compare him responding to Pop to Pound Side Pop and OT Kwani the same as Martin Luther King standing up for civil rights? I can't be bothered with this. So then my man Reef is like, nah, bro. Like 30 minutes later, he's like, no, get back on the room. He hates me. Like he hates her. So he's like, no, get back in the room.
You said he hates you?
Meek.
Oh, Meek. I thought you said he hates me.
No, he hate me.
Okay.
So he like, yo, get back in the room. I get back in the room, just more nonsense. And then I see they start bringing up like motherfuckers I know got like a third grade education and shit like that to speak. And I'm just like, it's about to start going left. And then he brung my man up. Trap Street Kion. He bring my man up. Kion he partners with Mont Brown. He manages Sim Santana. He used to manage D4M, a couple different artists. He literally the last 3 years, because he used to work with me at Vanity too, he's part of our marketing team. The last 3 years, every big artist that popped off, whether they were from Philly, other cities, whatever, he was on a pulse of all of that. So this is a guy that know his shit. Like, he's in the music industry. He got relationships at Columbia, at Interscope, at Atlantic. He's got Alamo. He got artists signed, all of that shit. Like, he's in the music industry. So he stepped up and he basically was like, yo, man, like, y'all doing a lot of capping on this, John. Like, at the end of the day, like, 20,000 ain't no money for no deal, whether you a new artist or not. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the fact that we sitting here pussyfooting around it, talking about, oh, the opportunity, this, and this. It's like, this kid got millions of views on multiple videos. He has social currency and he has value that he added to his brand independently on his own. That gotta equate to something. Like, these other artists from other cities come in with that. Y'all don't offer them these lowball deals. Like, it's bullshit. Y'all only do it to the Philly artists because y'all hedging y'all bets and y'all feel like they going whatever. Meek like, get him the fuck out the room. You a bitch. You coming in here with the Swiss like, whoa, we ain't doing this.
Swiss Beats was there.
Yeah, he's like, yo, we ain't doing this. Like, what's up with you? Like, at least let the man state his point. He's like, no, because I know him and he coming in here with that op energy and and it's zero tolerance. It's zero tolerance for. And I know him. He from Trash Street, whatever. But like my old head Smoke, that's from Cumberland. He start throwing street niggas names in the shit, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, he helped a lot of niggas get on their feet, but he ain't giving nobody no 110,000. He ain't giving nobody no 110,000. It was 20,000 up front, and it was 90,000 to follow for the recording budget. With new artists, I'm like, a lot of artists. Like, literally, like Cowboy walked into RCA with one song, which was Envy Me, that was released, and a bunch of shit in a catalog that didn't drop yet. He got $3 million to sign, which however they broke it down, whatever, he probably got 600, 700 up front. But he got $3 million to sign and a split on his masters with one fucking song. So where do y'all get this shit from that nobody's not signing for no real money? You manage Cowboy. You know what he got. But when it comes to your business, it's like, oh, no, why would I? It's unproven commodity, He got 7 records that got 1 million to 5 million views. What are you talking about? So he like, kick him the fuck out the room, He on some nut shit, booty wop. And Swiss like, yo, man, like I said earlier, we hate each other. Like, this just goes to further my point. Like, at least hear the man out. If he got a grievance, whatever, you don't even want to talk through it. You trying to just big dog niggas like Meek, that's corny. Like, niggas in the room, and even 21 telling him like, yo, that's corny. So then he like, no, I apologize for getting out my body like that, But like, I know these guys. And his thing was, and Kayan was like, bro, 20,000 is not no money. Like, I got artists signed, multiple artists, 4, 5, 6 artists signed. Like, that's not no money for no advance. And then to make matters worse, this happens later on down the line. Because he's affiliated with Pound Shop Pop, he got the contract. The contract wasn't what Meek said it was. So you in this room capping for Swiss and 21 and this, and this. And that goes to my point that I talk about a lot when it come to him. He don't have his business in order. His personal brand, Meek Mill, he got it. He know who his fans is, who his supporters is. He know who spend what. He know who buying his albums. He got the pulse on his fan base. When it comes to his business, though, outside of that, he has no fucking idea what's going on.
Something like the Dream Chaser shit.
Dream Chaser shit, like...
So who is Dream Chasers backed by?
Rock Nation and Universal.
Oh, okay.
So when you sit here and say, oh, well, that's a fair deal, it ain't really no money in the budget for ours, I know for a fact he got at least $1 million from Jay-Z when he started the Dream Chasers label. I know that. That's not me guessing. I talked to people that work for Rock Nation. You got $1 million up front. So you got $1 million to run the business and sign fucking artists. The recording money is separate from that money. That's just operational expenses. So your total deal might be $7-8 million. They gave you $1 million to start going out here and signing niggas. But you going out here signing niggas to 20 and 30,000 is like, that's not no money. And then you not even giving them no stimulus to where it's like you jumping on their records to make them go. Like how 50 used to do. And how Wayne did with Drake and Nicki. You not even jumping on their records. So it's like, why the fuck would I sign to you to get shelved? You telling me to get hot? Nigga, you hot, make me hot. Why did I sign to you for this little bit of money if you're not going to do what's necessary to make sure that I pop off and I get my bread on the back end? Mm-hmm. So going back to the contract was $20,000, it was $15,000 actually up front. It was another $25 for recording, so that's $40, not $110. It was $2,500 for his publishing, advance from them, but then he had to go and get a separate pub deal from a publishing administrator like Warner Chappell, Universal Music, whatever. And Dream Chasers retained 100% of the masters. You trying to put niggas in a slave deal and then tell them, but no, that's like a nigga told me one time doing parties, a nigga who shall remain nameless, danging on tomorrow. Yeah, I wouldn't take that deal, but it's good for y'all. That's what you telling me. You telling me
that's
I
crazy.
wouldn't take this deal, but for y'all niggas, it's good. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, I'm out. Man, I would never. But for y'all niggas, it's a good introductory deal. And it's like, nah. Like if he had, and the thing is, if Pop had good music industry people around him a year, 2 years ago, he would have been had a deal at a real label. Alamo offered everybody, which is Ty Moskowitz label, offered everybody from Philly a deal in the last 2 years. Every nigga from you talking that gangster drill shit?
Yeah.
Deal. Yak Yola, D4, they offered all of them deals. So it's like if he would have had good people around him to help navigate, he would have been had a deal. But that 20K shit was out of pocket. The 110 shit was a farce. It was basically a 1 EP deal. It was a 1 EP deal, 1 LP deal, and then it was a bunch of options that the label retained the rights to, like 7 options.
You know what you just made me think about? Was we was talking about this shit yesterday. So, how the fuck did we get on this conversation? We were talking about contracts in general.
Yeah.
And, did you see the Buccaneers game yesterday by any chance?
No.
Did you notice the shit with Tom Brady and AB at the end?
Go on.
Yeah, so you didn't see it, apparently. Antonio Brown needed 45 catches for the season, right?
To guarantee his contract?
To get a $250,000 bonus.
Okay.
Tom Brady yesterday, with 2 minutes left, threw him like 3 straight shovel passes to get him the joint or whatever. And I was like, damn, that was GOAT shit. Like Tom Brady's thorough shit for that.
Yeah.
So we started talking about contracts and how NFL contracts, aren't guaranteed unless they do a guarantee at the beginning. Yeah. But NBA are fully guaranteed just through on. So NFL, it's a lot of incentive based contracts. Like it's a whole lot of that shit. So we started talking about, apparently Lee didn't know about Master P with Ricky Williams. So when Ricky Williams got drafted, he went and got Master P to do his deal. So everybody always talks about it was the worst contract in NFL history.
It was a straight incentive laden deal.
But what people don't understand is Ricky Williams wanted that.
He asked for that
He
deal.
said, I want to earn all my money. I don't want to be given anything. And Master P like, nigga, this is the dumbest shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Ricky Williams' whole contract was if he hits 500 yards, 700 yards, 900 yards, 1,000 yards, 1,500 yards, if he has this many touchdowns, this many carries, this many, and people panned Master P.
Yeah.
For his, like, this is why you don't get no rapper to handle your... And Master P like, no, this jackass said I want it to be all incentive-based. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, that contract shit is like, you want to be in this stupid shit, we'll put you in it.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I'm actually looking
but it's just funny we had that conversation yesterday and you done brought the shit up.
Yeah, so it's like, I'm looking at the actual contract. I think this might have been the initial one. I don't know if this is the second one, but term commitment, initial period of 1 EP with first option of 1 EP or 1 LP at Dream Chaser's discretion, followed by consecutive options at 4 LP. So that's 7 projects for 15,000 that we talk about so far. Ownership: Dream Chasers owns all masters, videos, artwork, etc. Pre-existing masters: artists to assign all rights, including the copyright therein, to the existing masters listed on Schedule 1, here to and accompanying music videos. Promptly followed by Dream Chasers' written request, artists will remove and take down the pre-existing master from all platforms and services where it was previously serviced.
That can't be. Let me see this.
So what that means, for those of you out there that are listening, pre-existing masters means not only do we want to own your masters going forward, all the shit that you put out independent, that you put your bread into, we own that also from day one when you sign this contract. Unbelievable, right?
Yeah, this can't be. This has to be fake. It's no way this is real.
Look, Aziz Smith, PK.
No, I see the words. I'm saying like this. I can't see this being real. Not in 2020 with what we know about like.
It's a slave
Earth,
deal.
Yeah,
it's a slave deal. It's a prove yourself deal.
LP5 is wild. It says $150,000 recording budget plus in-pocket advance, subject to $25,000 minimum or $150,000 maximum. LP5 parentheses if any.
If any.
Like, if you get this far...
There's caveats all over the contract.
Yeah, that's wild. I can't see this being real. Recording budgets to be administered by Rock Nation. Advance payable 50% on commencement of recording and balance on final delivery. if this is crazy, if this is real, that's crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like you're telling me at what point, like, and here's the thing with the new shit with the labels.
You gotta do 2 albums a week.
Exactly, but then they get to decide. They got first right of refusal. They can decide what's an EP, what's an LP. You got 14 songs on here. That's an LP, but we gonna cut it to 8. So now it's an EP. So it's like motherfuckers be in deals for shit like this for 7 projects, and half of them don't even be counting because after they get through the first 2 EPs, all the subsequent EPs don't count towards your commitment.
Yeah.
It's just money on the wood for you and the label. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit like this. So it's like when I say he don't have a handle on his business, for you
I ain't gonna hold you though, and I don't want to sound bad, and I guess I can, I don't know, say not give Meek the mulligan or anything, but it's just like I don't understand that shit. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I guess that's where it comes into like hiring a lawyer, but then you got to worry about what lawyer you hire.
Exactly.
And what,
the lawyer secretly worked for the label? That's what the Migos went through. The lawyer that they hired secretly was employed by QC. Conflict of interest. At that point, the contract is null and void if you go to court. Whatever fuck what I signed, that shit is null and void now. It's over. You know what I'm saying?
Like that shit, I ain't gonna hold you. It bothers me a little bit.
It's
like
crazy.
Like, cause let's say it's a deal thrown at us tomorrow to do on another, network situation, whatever. And it's like, what's a good deal? What's a bad deal? I haven't had much, you know what I'm saying? Like the discussion with people about this or that much of an understanding as to what's a good, you could realistically see 300,000, but it's just like,
that might be the last 300,000 you see.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So it's just that shit is that contract shit at all. And you would think like just black people as black people, we would, not, you know what I mean?
Not try to attempt to take advantage of one another.
But there's always going to be a big Red Records. And that Snoop talks about the whole Master P situation. Like he really understood like things different in the game.
I wanted 3,500. He gave me 35,000 for a feature. Shit like that. You Snoop Dogg. I know you fucked up. You down bad right now, but your worth is in your name alone. Not to mention what you've done. Like you a legendary act. Like don't let the desperation of the situation devalue who you are as an artist and as a man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is why I said the other day on Twitter. I said, listen. At the end of the day, Meek, if you want to help niggas, help niggas. If you don't want to help niggas, then don't. But don't get mad at niggas when they call you on your bullshit because you acting like you helping, but you really not. This is a deal that everybody turns down. So you basically sending me this like...
If that deal is real.
If that deal is real, this is a deal
because they could have made that up, and but if that's real, no. If any, no.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got 7 options on me? 7?
Yeah.
For 15,000 up front? Come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it goes
like even with this, like I wouldn't sign a deal that's like some crazy ridiculous shit. I would rather just keep my job and do this shit independent. The way, you know what I'm saying?
The whole thing is that anybody with sense in the podcast game, like Joe Budden, Bodega Boys, which is Jesus and Mero and all of that, they tell you take less money and keep your IP. Own your IP because the whole thing is
intellectual property.
That's intellectual property because if not, you gonna see if you sell your IP, you gonna see your shit everywhere, and guess who ain't getting paid for it? Yo motherfucking ass because you took the million or the whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you gotta believe in yourself and bet on yourself. We've been doing this shit for 4 years. In 2 weeks have been 4 years. At that rate, we've been pumping out an average of 40 shows a year. Not bad, because all things considered. So...
No, less than that.
No, it's going to be,
130?
140, my bad. So it's going to be, by the time we record, it's going to be closer to 140. Plus, you got to remember, it's shows that don't count in a chronological catalog.
Yeah.
So you're probably somewhere like closer to maybe like
30 a
34,
year.
35.
Yeah.
So 140 divided by 4, 35 shows a year. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. And we've been on this tear for the last 4 or 5 months where we basically, it took near death for us to miss shows. You know what I'm saying? So
I went on a Shaquille Sunflower job.
You had to go on a spiritual retreat.
Real shit, Brother Rock. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not prepared. Even at us operating at 75%, 35, 52, whatever, I'm not prepared to give away the house for a check because we're going to regret it in the long run. Unless it's some crazy shit, then y'all can have all this shit.
That shit might look like the beginning of a milli. I'm like, who is this for? Because the Phantom out there, nigga. I don't know what to tell Chad, man.
He was listening to episode 132. We heard you talk about that Phantom.
Yo. I would just sign your name with my left hand. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I signed this under duress. Extreme duress.
Real shit. Like, no, we signed it.
Under extreme duress. Is this you on video signing this? You look happy as a motherfucker. That is not me.
Chad hit me like, yo, I'm on Monday, like, yo, I'm headed to the studio now. Be like, all right, well, look, we not going to Northeast no more. Just so you know, you got to drive to New York. You're like, what? I'm like, I'll tell you about it when you get Dog. But yeah, nah, if that deal is real,
it's wild.
Yeah, no. Ain't
it's
no way.
Wild. I know niggas in indie deals, like Sean the Street niggas that got better deals than that. Like fucking Yo Gotti gave Moneybagg Yo $200K for a management split and to administer his pub. So he's not even signed to CMG. He's signed to Endless Entertainment, which is him and Zach Randolph together as a unit. And then Gotti handles part of the management, bookings, touring, and then the pub administration. You know what I'm saying? It's like he got a $200K advance for that.
Okay.
So it's like when you see shit like that, it's like, come on, man. Like, you got to do better. And the thing with Meek is like, you around all these niggas. And at the end of the day, if you really want to be in the music business and have artists and all of that shit and be an executive, you got to pay niggas. The reason why Meek and Roddy Ricch ain't work out because he didn't want to pay the nigga. And Atlantic, the same label that Meek is signed to, was like, oh, we'll give you whatever you want. You look like an asshole because you could have just brokered the deal, got your fucking money up front, and got it on the back end split as executive producer. And now you in the Roddy Ricch business, which is probably generating like 75 million his album cycle for the last fucking year. You got a 10 million selling single.
Yeah, I was about to say, Roddy Ricch has like 2 singles that are like huge like that.
See what I'm saying?
He's on Rockstar. That's huge.
Rockstar was on the top 10 on the charts for like 40-something weeks.
He got his Joan. What's the big
Box.
Joan? The Box. That was huge. Shit, he got the Joan with Nip. That won a Grammy, didn't it?
See what I'm saying?
What's that?
Racks in the Middle.
Racks in the Middle. Yeah.
So it's
what
like,
the fuck?
So it's like, so now you're out of the Roddy Ricch business because you don't have your business together and you don't know how to negotiate. You know what I'm saying?
And he's from the West Coast.
He's from Compton.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So it's like, it's situations like that are going to keep happening to you if you keep lowballing niggas on these fucking deals, because a smart artist is going to say, well, I give you the rights to all this, and this.
I will say this, though. You
just
made me think about when you said the whole Philly artists getting lowballed. It do be feeling like that. Like, just in general, it's like, as far as like artists making it or blowing. Yeah. It's just like, damn, like every couple of months there's somebody new. Like, Compton's always gonna have a huge rapper.
For sure.
Just what it is. Then you look at like Detroit, they're gonna always have somebody. New York, forget about it. Atlanta, Miami, forget about it. Houston, forget about it. But it's like Philly, it's like we get one every almost like generation.
Yeah, like one every 8 years.
Like even with Beans, it was wild to see Beans and Eve and Freeway.
And Young Guns.
And the Young, like a Sin, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. To where it was like, dog, they had like, the Young Guns had a #1 record.
Yeah.
So it's just like, Eve had a #1. You know what I'm saying? Like, just seeing that, it's just like, goddamn, that they all did it at the same time. And then you had like Cassidy over here, and you had the Figures over here.
Cassidy popped off fucking like a couple platinum singles and like 3 gold albums.
Dog. Like, when The Hustler came out, that it was up. You know what I'm saying?
Straight up.
And then you figure the Figures, and then Philly's Most Wanted. Like, it was a dope
fucking
time period.
Journalist from South Philly, like,
and then
Murder
somehow,
Mill was at Jive. Like,
and then somehow, one way or another, that all turned into them all beefing and arguing and going at it. And Eve like, listen, I'm going to Europe. Y'all got this. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's wild, but it's like, even the Pound Side Pop, I've heard that name more times in the last 3-4 months
than you did the last 3-4 years.
So it's like, I know people are searching for him, and all of this is just
he did a Vlad interview. He did
it's
the
only
Cheese
helping
interview.
him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. So, and here's the thing. He like, bro, it ain't really no beef with me. He said, but he tried to embarrass me publicly. He got to apologize publicly. That's all this comes down to, is him and his mouth and his ego. Like, he said, because it goes back to that op energy shit. It's like, dog, you trying to tell niggas to squash a beef where you know multiple people died. You know what's the cause of it, and you know the other side through the first shot. You know what I'm saying? And you in a situation where you're trying to tell niggas to not beef over a check, and you not even offering a big check to stop the beef. You possibly offering what we just read on air. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that is problematic. So do you want to help or do you not want to help? But if you don't want to help, don't get mad at niggas for saying you're not helping nobody. Yeah. That's just the long and short of it. Like, it's not that complicated.
Yeah. I'd like to interview him. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Seems like it would be a dope talk because he'll get to talking.
Yeah.
He'll definitely get to
he'll
talking.
talk.
He'll definitely get to talking. I want to talk about this Popp Hunna situation though, because I've heard this name a lot in the last couple weeks. So, how old is he now?
Like 18 or 19?
18, 19. What part of the city is he from?
North Philly, 11th and Norris.
Oh, that's Pimp neighborhood. Oh man, they done took down the project. Pimp be out there every day and shit.
Yeah.
Fucking this situation is troubling from a couple different angles.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, he's pretty big. He's got like almost 200,000 followers and I was like, the crazy part is this is only gonna help him.
Yeah, he got like 4 videos with 10 million views.
This is only gonna help him. You know what I mean? So basically, it came out last week that he had a situation when he was 13, 12 or 13.
14.
Okay, I saw 12 or 13, and I saw 14. I don't. One of them
13,
early
14, somewhere in that part.
adolescent youth.
2015.
One of them youth ages and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know the complete logistics. I think what happened was somebody was killed in front of him.
So basically, here's what happened. This is a account from somebody I know from around that way. Allegedly, there was a situation where some teenagers is meeting up to fight.
Okay.
Popp Hunna, his best friend, are going around the corner to the projects to fight. Pop's mom came with him to ensure that it was a fair fight. Y'all not gonna jump my son, but do what y'all gotta do, get this shit off y'all chest. In the midst of them trying to get this fight off, somebody killed his best friend.
Okay.
Hundreds of witnesses, whatever the case may be, and allegedly the shit is like an open and shut case where it's like everybody knows this nigga did it, the police know he did it, whatever, and it was just such a blatant, reckless crime. The nigga immediately got locked up, like immediately. Mm-hmm. And later on down the line, I guess as they were going through the process of it, Popp he cooperated and basically did equated to a 5-page police interview where he said what he saw. And this is him at 13, 14 years old, basically saying what he saw, what happened. Do you know the guy? Yes, I know him. He laid the whole shit out. You know what I'm saying? And as the time goes on, the problem that I'm hearing that people have with it is like, he didn't have to tell. Like, he didn't have to tell. It was an open and shut case. They didn't need his testimony, whatever. So he volunteered to tell, and that, and street niggas Philadelphia wide are basically like standing on that part of it. Like, he didn't have to tell. He volunteered to tell, and that's what is making him a rat more so than somebody that just saw their best friend get killed. Like, he went out of his way to tell, even though the shit was already pretty much wrapped up.
Okay.
And you know, I have a lot of questions about this situation. My questions stem from, how the fuck did y'all get a juvenile's paperwork?
I said that the other day. How did this come out?
How the fuck did y'all get this juvenile's paperwork?
Because somebody has to be very angry that he's achieving success.
Absolutely. Possibly the person that is in jail.
Right.
And it seems like one of them situations where it's like, oh, that's so-so. He told on my cousin, da-da-da. Let me call my aunt. They got the paperwork right here. And then it hits the internet. And then at that point, it takes on a life of his own. And initially, he tried to deny it and basically said, oh, that was my pop. We got the same name, blah, blah, blah. And they like, nigga, was your pop 14 in 2015? What the fuck are you talking about? So him even giving the shit energy gave it legs because he tried to lie about it and deny it instead of just basically going to the situation and either ignoring it or going to the situation and saying, listen, this is exactly what happened. I was a child at the time. I'm a law-abiding citizen, da-da-da-da-da. We go there for a fight. Nigga killed my best friend. Like, he didn't explain it from a humanistic standpoint. He tried to deny it and like, I don't fuck with no rats. And he tried to take the cool route out and it ended up backfiring.
Rick Ross in the CEO uniform. Right. No, that ain't me.
No, that ain't me.
All right, that is me, but it's deeper than rat. Like,
the real reason is way more sinister than that.
Yeah, it's like Could have just kept it a B.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of them situations. And unfortunately, he ain't as deep in as Ross to overcome.
He got no BMFs.
He ain't got no BMFs. He ain't got no MC Hammers.
Yeah.
He ain't got no rich off cocaine.
No Port of Miami's.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, niggas is basically trying to get this kid out the game. And, you know, along with the questions, it's like, all right, so how do y'all get a juvenile's paperwork? 2, how does it pick up so much steam that motherfucking fast? And, you know, why is he not addressing this like head on and taking like a direct manner so that it can go away? The longer he hopscotch around the shit, the longer motherfuckers is gonna make a thing about it. Somebody sent me a video yesterday, a nigga from Baltimore that's like a G Funny or a G Funny or whatever like that make them skits and all that. He made a fucking Popp Hunna co-rat skit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, this shit is spreading and growing legs, and it's like, you gotta deal with this.
But what's crazy is, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. In 2020, 2021, the world we live in now, he don't gotta deal with it. He's gonna be more successful because of it.
Well, allegedly, it's a full scale like blackball. Like niggas is flexing their muscle. Like, yo, don't sign that kid. I ain't doing no records with y'all artists. That are like on that type of time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like Uzi took the video down, told him take me off that shit. Tusi from South Coast Music Group, the baby, the same label the baby signed to, he took the shit off his page, stopped promoting it, whatever. Like, niggas is like taking a stance, and here's the problem. He's existing in a post 6ix9ine society.
I was gonna say, like, if 6ix9ine don't do the fucking world dickhead tour that he pulled,
he could have skated through.
Yeah, because it's like people saw, like, honestly, once 6ix9ine, and the crazy part is 6ix9ine shit was entertaining to people until he went to Nipsey's memorial. That was the game changer, where it was just like, all right, boy. We cool.
Yeah, it's not entertaining no more.
Like, you playing games.
Now you a nut ass nigga.
Now you a nut ass nigga. You drawing for no reason. So it's like, if the 6ix9ine shit doesn't happen in the manner in which it happens, it could have been like,
we could overlook it.
Give young boy the mulligan, like, all right, you know, like,
you a pass.
He was 13. If his mom pressured him, even if you want to just give it to, he felt like he had to do that for his friend.
Right.
Even if you want to go that route, cool. But at this juncture, once we saw Akon do the stupid shit he did, and 6ix9ine go on that ridiculous run where
a minstrel show.
It's just like,
so now
it can't pop.
Now it's a hard line. Whereas before, motherfuckers was overlooking shit, people are drawing a hard line because they don't want to look like hypocrites about the 6ix9ine shit. So it's like, oh, y'all don't fuck with that rat, but y'all fuck with this rat. And you know, if that's the case, Danny gonna take the shit and run with it.
But this is the jump where I'm saying, where it's like, someone's almost gonna have to fuck with the kid. If it get to where 6ix9ine come out, he make videos about it, or it's gonna be too much exposure. Yeah. Danny Grange and him really fucked with 6ix9ine. We could not want to agree with it, or the head of Universal was putting money in Danny. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not a far-fetched, wild-ass joint. Yeah. Like, it sound crazy. If R. Kelly get out, somebody gonna want the aura.
Somebody somewhere. They gonna just try to make like, yo, don't tell nobody.
So that's more so the aspect where I was saying, where it's like, if this shit get big enough, he's gonna have YouTube views and all that other shit. Now the core, the essence of in the words of KRS-One, hip hop, like that shit is not gonna fuck with you at all.
Yeah.
But they didn't fuck with Danny, and Danny scumbagged the #1 record.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A couple of them.
He got to live in Beirut. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, he's
Uzbekistan.
He scumbagged the #1 and the #3 and a couple $1 million. Yeah. So it's like, you know, it's not, I ain't gonna say it's fucked up, but it do go back, I guess, bringing the show full circle, where it's like the nonsense. Like, if it's some because we wouldn't talk about the young, like, and that's not a diss to him, but it wouldn't be this whole media gauntlet run of nonsense.
I've never seen a situation where somebody's juvenile paperwork got exposed.
Yeah, I've never seen that either.
That shit is typically sealed. Same way with CIs and CSs and shit like that. That shit is sealed. Like, you have to gain access from somebody in the law field in order to get access to that information. So this had to come from somebody directly involved in the situation that had the paperwork and was probably walking around 11th and Norris. Yeah, you know, the young boy told on my cousin, you know, like on that type of time. And then soon as he started popping, they're like, oh, wait a minute. Shit hit the internet. And it just took on a life of its own from there. You know what I'm saying? And my biggest thing is, if your mom is there and she didn't cooperate, why did you cooperate? Like, as a parent, I would take that burden off my kid. So why didn't your mother cooperate and you did?
You know what? I guess I didn't really think about that, but it's like when they said the whole thing about his mom was there and then it was like, oh, his mom forced him to it's like, yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
Doesn't make much sense. Why would you want to place that type of burden on your kid, being from where you from, living in the neighborhood that you live in, living in the era that we live in? Why would you want to tag your son like that? Because if she tells, nobody says nothing about it. Nobody gives a fuck. It's nothing to talk about. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's a citizen, but now it's because his content of his music, he talking little street shit here, there, and popping his little drag, whatever. Motherfuckers is using that against him, and they trying to make it like, every rapper not a street nigga and every street nigga not a rapper. And I said this on Twitter the other day. They're trying to paint the picture that because he's rapping now, he was a street nigga then. And that's not necessarily true. He could have been straight 100% a civilian, a kid going to school, a ninth grader, normal ninth grader, whatever. You have your little fights, your scuffles, whatever. You get into shit like that. That is what it is. But at that age, the burden of violence doesn't typically go that far. In certain areas, it does.
Right.
But I'm thinking back to 2015, like, I don't necessarily know that 13, 14, 15-year-old kids was killing each other in Philadelphia. That's some Chicago shit. That's some
Baltimore,
Fort Wayne, Indiana shit. I don't particularly know that preteens are smoking each other over fucking fights.
You can't, I mean, you know, it's no, that's a reality. It's teenagers dropping shit. Like, it's just.
But is that the exception or is that what's going on?
I see the almost like the juxtaposition that you're trying to create, but my thing is,
is that a reality where as a 14-year-old you go into a fight with the reality of I might get smoked, or is it like this is some wild shit that's out of the norm that took place? You know what I'm saying?
I know me at 14, we got into fights. I remember we got in a big fight up Finnegan, 70th Street. Then we got in a big one at Myers basketball court and shit. And you know, in my young nigga mind, it's like, oh, we rumbling. Oh shit, somebody stole somebody. Oh, if somebody got clapped, they'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah, you changed. Now you changed the venue. You changed the rules of engagement.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point, almost everything is on the table. Telling is on the table. Everything is on the table. When we come here for a fight, you invite me to a fight. Or we engage in a fight and then you take it to murder.
I hate to be this guy. I'd be silly right now. But I didn't do this last 2 weeks when we did our year-end show. Do you know what my favorite video was of 2020?
No.
You just think about what you just said. Because I know you know it because we had a whole fallout session laughing about it. How niggas act when they get their first chopper?
Oh, my God. He said, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna call all my ops.
He said, I'm gonna give all my ops in the same location. I'm gonna hop out that van. He said, they're gonna be like, damn, we thought we was gonna fight it out. He said, no, everybody gets a hollow today. On and around. He said, no, everybody gets a hollow today.
Not today, nigga.
He said, I don't know if I want to stock up or down on my mama. On my mama. He said, my plug been talking shit. I'm going to pull up. I can put the money in the bag. You know, money getting motherfucker on me. That nigga was hilarious. I'm going to have all my ops meet up in the same location.
I thought we was going to fight it out.
I thought we was going to bust it out.
Sir.
No. Everybody gets a hollow today. But no, that's real shit, though. It's like, damn, I thought we was going to box it out. So that. And they like, if the gun come out, and it's you know, I look back on my life was blessed that I never experienced that. You know, we never had a situation where somebody got shot in a fight. You know what I mean? Like, we had fights and real live squabbles and all that shit, whatever you want to call it, mixing, rumbling, all that. Nobody ever got popped or killed in the mix of one of them Jones. Because that's just like, wait. Because now you just like, God damn, did I have to steal him? And I remember playing football. The Joan we had up Finnegan's. My man, older brother, we would play football every Sunday.
Yeah.
And so this particular Sunday, we went to Finnegan's and played like the Pascal Project niggas in football. And you knew that, like, because it was.
You knew it could go there.
It was just way too many, like, Auroras on Dubs. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see that many,
is that an Oldsmobile entry?
is that an Alero? You know what I'm saying? Like when you see the Alero on Twinkies, it's like, dog. So we playing football, and my man, older brother, was just like doing shit that just like the play dead. He's still trying to throw a nigga on the ground, just shit like that. And sooner or later, I'm just like, yo, they not gonna go for this shit much longer, man. Like I'm like telling my man, like, yo, you gotta calm this nigga down. Like he's tripping right. Like the fuck I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Just make sure your shit laced up. You know what I'm saying? Because you already know. Sure enough, another couple of plays happened. He started getting into it with one of the niggas on the other side, and they had to be held back and da-da-da-da-da. And the next thing you know, he just punched him in the face. I'm like, here we go. You know? Here we go. But it's like, yeah, nobody got, like, if that, you do that shit and then I wound up getting killed, you gotta feel like a jackass. Because it's like, god damn. Like, you know.
You kicked over the first domino.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, me personally, when I look at the young boy, it's like, the climate and the culture that we're in, it makes it look very terrible.
Yes.
You know, it makes it look very, very ridiculous and very terrible. And honestly, if he would have went on to do art or to fucking, you know, shout out Jaleesa, make them hats that everybody was going crazy off of that I wore the other day. No one would have cared.
Yeah, nothing to talk about.
You know what I'm saying? But it's just like the fact that you're rapping and you're rapping about tagging motherfuckers and, you know, doing this and spinning the block.
So they holding you to that standard as if you lived your whole life like that.
Right.
Fairly or unfairly, that's the standard that you're being judged against. And
we talked about it before, you know, rap, all music is facades.
Yeah.
All music is, outside of rap, most of them songs don't even get written by the artists.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's just like,
shit, a lot of rap songs don't even get written by the artists.
I'm just saying, like over there, it's like niggas get recognized for writer of the year that ain't artists. Whereas in rap, it's like, oh, you didn't write your rap, what the fuck? But it's like, them songs aren't even getting written by the artist, and no one gives a fuck. Like we talked about, no one cares if Bruce Springsteen was really down Cape May or on 95. You know what I'm saying? We talked fucking.
You was never on 281, pussy.
You see what I'm saying? Michael Jackson got a love ballad about a damn mouse. No one cares that it's about a mouse. Grown men be crying when Ben come on. It's like, it is what it is. So it's like only in rap are you held to this higher standard of life and conduct and code from your inception, when in reality, it's just a guy who's fucking rapping. Yeah. All the other ones are lying too. Rick Ross, Noriega doesn't owe him anything. You know what I'm saying?
He doesn't owe you 2 favors, let alone 100.
Not a favor, let alone 100. It just is what it is.
Can you imagine being one of Noriega's handlers and having to come play that shit for him? So there's this guy from Miami. He said you owe him 100 favors, apparently. What type of commissary was he giving you?
Rick Ross has gotten out of a lot of shit.
Rick Ross got out of...
Like, he might be the best... We might give Rick Ross Finesse of the Year when it comes to, like, music.
He get a lifetime Finesse.
Because Rick Ross has said a lot of shit or done a lot of shit with music where you would think... Like, even the whole gang shit. When he did BMF.
Yeah.
And then he went on Rich's Gangsters. Was like, gang members claim I need to make a payment. He got out of that shit. Yeah. He had to put Molly all in her champagne. Got out of that shit. Like, Rick Ross has gotten out of a lot of lines.
They canceled his tour behind that shit. Them GD niggas was looking for him.
Mm-hmm.
They was not playing about that Hoover and that 6-point star. It was 2 Jones back to back. That one of them was blatant and one flew under the radar. So the Larry Hoover shit, him mentioning Hoover, that was the first thing that set it off with the GD.
And the crazy part to me though, it was more like a big up to Larry Hoover.
But you know, niggas is hungry in the streets, so they looking for any reason to extort a rapper.
Right.
So they like, no, you owe us something. You are indebted to me because you mentioned my OG. And then the second thing was on the Black Bar Mitzvah album cover, he was in the 6-point star.
Okay.
And that's associated with the GDs and certain folk clans of gangs and shit like that. They fall under the 6-point star. So that was a whole nother thing that niggas lost their minds because they felt like he was taunting them. And that was the joint that like flew under the radar and shit. But yeah, Ross has gotten out of a lot of scenarios. Remember the niggas tried to kill him on New Year's Eve?
Yeah, made a song about it.
Yeah.
They're coming back. I'm getting out of here with the phone call and shit. Real quick, I want to talk about Charlamagne.
Yes.
He said we're not in the Drake era anymore.
And he doubled down and said we haven't been in the Drake era for 2-3 years now.
Now, him saying we're not in the Drake era, not gonna hold you. That's not a crazy statement.
Right.
To say we haven't been in it for 2-3 years is like.
Scorpion was 2 years ago.
Scorpion has 3 number ones. It's like, come on. The 3 lead singles from Scorpion, are you ready for this? 11, 8, and 6.
Right.
Man's got 25 million records sold in those 3 songs.
In singles.
Like, to say we're not in that,
and
like
then the album did another 4 or 5.
You knew No God's Plan is in the top 8 best-selling songs of all time now.
Yeah.
So it's like, to say that is absurd. After the year that he had in 2018 where he had 13 top 10 records, he had 7 top 5s and 4 number 1s. That does, and then the biggest tour in rap history with Drake and the 3 Amigos made 102 million in 50 cities. Shut up. This is just dumb.
I think the problem with Drake is that people are, because he hasn't been active, people are acting as if like he was like pushed out of the game or something, as opposed to I'm just chilling. Like
I look at it like he had the most insane year in like music history in 2018. Ends it with a fucking Raptors championship in which they have special OVO rings. Then the 19 hits. He's on ice. I just had the biggest record of my life, the biggest tour in rap history. I'm building my house. The house costs $100 million.
Yeah.
I got a fucking, I think the tub, he said the tub was $86,000, some crazy shit. It's like, I'm doing this shit over here. You get the house done, you get the plane done. 20 rolls around. I'm in the house. Fuck it, let's throw Tootsie Slide out. Number 1 record.
Yeah.
I'm still in the house. Let's throw Laugh Now, Cry Later out. Puts Dirk on the fucking on everybody's radar. It's a number 2, and I'm just like,
fucking Life Is Good with Future, which is probably one of the 5 biggest rap records of the year.
Number 2,
it's got like 600 million views on YouTube.
It's like
number 2, and it was number 1 urban and number 1 radio.
So I'm just like, I could understand the not era because of the simple fact that
he's
like
not
we always said,
like
he's not. The game changes fast as fuck.
Yeah.
But when you talk about the premier artists of the game, it's him, it's Future,
Lil Baby,
Da Baby,
Uzi.
I wasn't gonna put Uzi.
Uzi went double platinum.
No, all right, yeah, I was gonna say
put an album out with Future.
I was gonna say as far as like the big dogs for their like places. Well, Uzi's probably I was gonna say King of Philly.
One of 2 albums that went double platinum this year. Him and Lil Baby.
My bad, Uzi. I was hating. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was hating.
Start tripping.
Yeah. But I was more so. I guess I'm like the Kendrick Lamar's, the like but that type shit.
But Kendrick, like, here's the thing. What's the standard? And I wrote this in the rundown. What's the standard that we hold in Drake too? Are we judging Drake versus Drake or Drake against the field? Because Drake versus Drake, yeah, he had a down year and a half. But Drake versus the field, he's still kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah.
He just had an album full of Lucy's that just went platinum, and the fucking had a number 1 single off of the shit for like 3-4 weeks and sold 5-6 million copies. You know what I'm saying? Took over TikTok, the whole shit, and then all the other 2-3 records. He just didn't have the volume. He didn't have a year like 18 where he followed his album with Sicko Mode with a tour. Like he's not covering the board.
Yeah,
but if niggas think that Drake can't wake up tomorrow with no announcement, no release date, nothing, and just drop Certified Lover Boy, and it ain't gonna go number 1 and probably have 5 top 10s and all that shit, like, y'all are tripping.
Yeah, that's crazy as fuck to me.
It's like we judging his inactivity as if he fell off, and that's not the same thing. Choosing to be inactive versus being pushed out of the game are not the same thing.
Like when I look at like even 2019 Forbes, Kanye was number 1, Jay-Z was number 2, Drake was 3, Diddy was 4. It's like Drake's up there with like the
niggas that been in the game for 25 years.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I don't understand the whole. And then when you look at the content game, it's like he had the most insane 2018, 2019. Like I said, to me it just seemed like I'm on this shit.
Yeah, I'm chilling.
And
the fucking Raptors practice facility is called the OVO Center.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is doing that with $100 million house? With just every time I just throw something out, it's top 5, top 3, really. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we judging him? Are we judging him against the field because the young niggas is putting out 3-4 albums a year to keep pace with him, with his 1 or 2? Or are we judging it on Drake versus Drake? Now, by Drake's standards, yeah, it's down. It ain't up, it's down. But let's not confuse inactivity with inability.
Right. Bingo.
It's not the same shit.
Definitely not the same shit. So yeah, I wouldn't say that the Drake era is done, but
I think he's realized like music has a certain tone and a certain sound to it. Von was an emerging star that was going straight up like this. Like he was shooting up like a fucking rocket. Dirk in the last 3 years, shooting straight the fuck. I was listening to Young Thug album, the one where he had the Jeffrey album, he had the dress on the cover. And Dirk is all over that album, and I'm like, this ain't the same Dirk.
No.
And that was in 2017.
Right.
This ain't the same Dirk. So it's like niggas have adjusted a lot of times to the Drake method of making music, and they're adding more melody, more soul to their shit. They giving us more information, talking about relationships and friendships and fallout. That come from him, from the boy. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we can't be that willing to write him off just yet.
Drake, when all I hear is me, who should I be afraid of? Like, you know what I mean? So
When you say all the songs sound like Drake featuring Drake,
Yeah.
like niggas have had to adjust to how mammoth of an artist he is in his way of creating music and lock in with 1, 2, 3 producers as opposed to
doing
50
something,
niggas and all of that
yeah.
shit and create a sound.
You know what, you just made me segue. It's like, this is a good segue into this. People have this thing where when you become successful enough, they're anticipating when it's over.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's coming.
It happened to everybody.
Right.
It happened to Jay. It happened to Wayne.
And you know who it's happening to now? And I'm so happy he did what he did last night? Steph Curry.
Yeah.
All these, the first 5-6 games of the year, motherfuckers is like, oh, the Warriors done.
He's
I
finished.
told y'all Steph was trash. Now he got to run without KD. You see it. He running without Clay. You see it. And Steph just showed up last night and was like, you know what? I'm going to just shoot the fucking lights out
He just
tonight.
dropped his nuts on the whole league.
He
gave niggas a, I heard y'all.
Yeah.
I heard y'all.
Were you watching it?
Yeah.
Dog.
I heard y'all.
That last 3 that he hit off that Draymond, when Draymond got the rebound, Steph was like, give me the rock.
Yeah.
And they started going up the court. Steph even said in postgame, I thought he wasn't going to give me the ball. He's like, whole time though, he was like trailing just to give me the space.
Yeah.
And I to myself, I was like, what the fuck is Draymond doing? When he kicked it back to Steph, I'm like, ain't no fucking way. He launched that shit and fell. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. He was really just on some, I'm going to just shoot the fucking lights out tonight. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I had this conversation with somebody I work with, not dickhead, old head, like somebody I actually like.
Not Dustman.
No, not Dustman. I actually had this conversation with one of my good homies there. I'm like, he was like, yeah, man, the Warriors dynasty is officially over. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And honestly, y'all need to cherish it because it's the last one you're going to see in professional sports. And he was like, how you figure that? I'm like, bro, modern analytics, right? Modern collective bargaining agreements, free agency, if you want to call it almost the liberation of the modern day
player
athlete,
movement, yeah.
you're never going to see it again.
Yeah.
And he was like, what you mean with the analytics? And I'm like, so you know why the Lakers and the Celtics were as good as they were in the 80s when like Magic and Showtime is because no one else could run and gun like them.
Exactly.
When Jordan became Jordan and the Bulls became that good, you know why they were that good? Because Jordan had the best perimeter game and Scottie Pippen was the best on-ball defender. And they ran the triangle, which was a big shout out to Tex Winters, not Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
The game now, it moves too fast. Steph Curry's the best shooter we've ever seen in NBA history.
Thanks.
With Klay Thompson, who's the second best shooter in NBA history. And they were running the Steve Kerr
Motion offense.
motion offense, but they called it the death lineup where they had Draymond at the 5.
Yeah.
The entire NBA adapted to that in 3 months.
Right.
The Rockets shoot more threes than the Warriors
did at their peak.
You know what I'm saying?
The problem is they don't hit as many threes, but they shoot more.
But the game catches up to you so much faster now. So you got that along with players. Think about this. Who's the best player in basketball? Who's the second best player?
KD.
Who's the third best player?
AD.
I was going to say Kawhi. But you look at those 3 guys, they go wherever the fuck they want.
Wherever they want.
Kawhi won a championship, a finals MVP, and was like, hey, man.
They tried to give him the country.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Drake said he'll split it with you. They was like, no. Yeah.
They tried to give him the country. They said, we'll give you a free, real estate developer said, I will build you a free house. You can eat free forever at these 4 restaurants. Anything else, you and Drake can negotiate. Drake even said, I'll rename the OVO Center the Kawhi Leonard Center.
Tory Lane's gonna do some dumb shit. We getting rid of him. It's just you and Drake,
It's just
fam.
you and me, baby. No, thank you.
I'm going to the Clippers to play with PG 13%. Y'all got me fucked up.
I'm going home, baby.
Remember when Wallace was like, this shit is me? That was Kawhi, but it was like, blowing a 3-1 lead in the second round, like, this shit is me over here. Like, it's the truth. And it's like, yo, I look at, like, just the way players move. And I had this conversation with Jules and Rod today. I'm like, you know why the Bulls won 6 championships? And this isn't a knock to Michael Jordan or Scottie Pippen or Phil Jackson or the greatness that is the Bulls. The reason they won 6 championships is because Reggie Miller wasn't smart enough to opt out and go play with the Knicks.
Right.
It just is what it is.
Right.
Larry Johnson wasn't, and Alonzo weren't smart enough to go leave and go play with the Suns and Dan Marley and fucking Charles Barkley. Yeah. That's what players have to deal with now.
Yeah. Larry Johnson had a 7-year contract.
We talked about this. You can't even do a 7-year now.
It's over.
So you had 7-year deals: Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Garnett, Allen Iverson. Allen Houston had a $100 million joint. Fucking Anton Walker had $100 million. Jalen Rose had everybody was getting the motherfuckers. Yeah. But what happened was
Big Dog
Big Dog said, I ain't playing.
I need my 100.
I need 100. They're like, well, nigga, we've never seen you play. That's besides the point.
You played at Purdue. You were at the bottom of the Big Ten. Yeah, you averaged 30, but
Big Dog said, I need a beam before I walk out there.
I need 100 for the walkthrough.
Like Finn off the Temptations. You get the 100, he right there. He right there, baby. Like, real shit.
Crazy.
So you got 7-year, $100 million deals. Now with Allen Houston, you get injured. Damn, we got to pay this shit.
Yeah, fully guaranteed.
Fully guaranteed.
7 years, $120.
So that's where you had motherfuckers like the CBA change, and it's like, oh, you can do a 5th-year supermax.
Yeah.
But you got to be there for that long and basically earn the shit.
Yeah.
But you got players now, it's just like, yo, give me 3 years, 86. I'm straight.
And I want the 3rd year to be a player option.
KD is doing 1-and-1s. Shit don't go good this year.
I'm out of here. We're going to reassess this whole shit. We're going to recontract this whole situation.
KD won back-to-back finals MVPs. It came time for the contract. He said, let me see Steph x-rays. I signed for this year, man. Well, I do a 1-and-1, man. Like, seriously. So you're not going to have these almost like pull yourself up by your bootstrap organizations ever again in sports. Devin Booker and the Suns. Devin Booker's a star. He's one of my favorite players. I said he's top 5 talent. Yeah. They were one of the worst teams in basketball last year. That fast. They got a Hall of Fame point guard. They look amazing this year. And DeAndre Ayton through the draft. It's not like back in the day where the Pacers had to draft Dale Davis, then draft Reggie Miller, then trade for Mark Jackson, then draft Rick Smits, then draft Dale Davis. It's not that anymore. As much as we love Michael Jordan, the Bulls wasn't able to get over the hump till they drafted Scottie Pippen.
Correct.
It just is what it is. Nowadays, that shit could flip in a season.
Yeah.
Next year, LeBron could fucking opt out and go play with Miami. Yeah. And then him and Jimmy Butler is the, you know what I mean? It's just,
we ain't seeing no more 3-peats and all that shit.
So I told them, I'm like, yo, if you a certain age, you've never seen a 3-peat.
Yeah.
The last 3-peat was the Lakers. The Yankees 3-peat was 99, 01, and 02. The last 3-peat was the Lakers, 98, 99, and 00. The Lakers 3-peat was the last one. That was 02. Yeah. It was 19 years ago at this point. You just never think about it. The Heat didn't 3-peat. The Mavericks didn't 3-peat. The fucking Warriors didn't 3-peat.
Right.
So it's just, you're not seeing that. And like I was telling my homie, what it is the game is not going to, if you win a championship and then win another one, that next year, there's going to be some more super shredder shit you have to go through. It just is what it is.
On top of the championship hangover and players leaving, it's hard.
The Heat won the championship in 12. The Heat won in 13. They looked amazing. LeBron was the best player on the planet. 14, you got Tim Duncan, Manu, fucking Tony Parker, and now we got Kawhi.
Yeah, as a 4th option.
With Danny Green. Shit is ugly over here.
Yeah.
The Warriors, y'all win the motherfucking chip. Y'all losing next year. LeBron was on some shit. Him and Kyrie. Y'all get KD. Win 17, win 18, 19, Kawhi's on the Raptors with Kyle Lowry, fucking OG, and
Fred VanVleet.
It's just what the game is going to move too fast. It's just what it is. So all that dynasty shit, it's over. And then me and Ron Jules, we started talking about football as we talked about the Eagles shit. And I don't know if y'all saw it, but Zach Ertz last night after the Eagles lost, people was pissed at Doug Peterson because he took out Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And at the end of the game, Zach Ertz sat on the field on the bench, just sitting there. And it's like, this is probably Zach Ertz' last time playing in this arena and, whatever. And I was telling Ron Jules, I'm like, it's crazy at how fast the Eagles Super Bowl team is just gone.
It's obliterated.
It's just, it's a
Carson Wentz is likely out.
He's done.
Zach Ertz is probably out. All of those older defensive linemen, all of
Fletcher
that shit.
Cox and all, they
out.
What's the one with the Rafe? We seen him with the Rafe, big nigga with the Jason Peters.
Yeah,
that. No.
They didn't have Jason Peters play every position on the offensive line the last 2 years except center.
Yeah, real shit. Like it's just what it is. So, and I was saying how in football to have a football dynasty is just fucking crazy.
Damn near impossible.
It's almost impossible. Yeah. So we started talking about Mike Tomlin and how Mike Tomlin just doesn't get the respect that he deserves. Yeah. He's one of the best coaches ever.
Yeah, and here's the thing. There was all this talk about what's he going to do and succeed in Bill Cowher? He's way better than Bill Cowher.
Dog, he hasn't had a losing fucking season.
Right.
Like the Steelers don't lose with this nigga at the helm. Yeah. And they still be like, oh, it might be over. The Steelers this year were undefeated up until the 11th game of the season.
Goes down, they fucking lose Le'Veon, all that shit. It don't matter.
Like and Rob made a very good point. He kept Antonio Brown in check for 9 years. Yeah. You know how fucking hard that had to be?
That nigga's a maniac. That nigga showed up on the barbershop with a blue mohawk and a blonde Hulk Hogan mustache.
Yo, like, you know how hard that had to be to keep AB in line? And it's like, yo, Mike Tomlin got Super Bowls, Coaches of the Year, all these AFC appearances, all these conference titles, never had a losing season, and people is like, nah, we love John Gruden. Right. This shit is just amazing to me. But the whole conversation we were having, because we're talking about contracts, like the contract shit now in sports has shifted everything. Yeah. You're not going to, it's just really going to be impossible to see a dynasty again. Like, look at how good Giannis is with the Bucks. Yeah. They can't even get to the chip.
Can't even get really to the conference finals.
So to get there and win 2-3 in a row, how? Yeah. As good as everybody thinks the Lakers are this year, it's gonna be tough as fuck for them to get.
It's definitely not happening next year.
I don't think so either. Because by next year, there's gonna be a new powerhouse. There's gonna be a new something. It's not gonna be
like, say if Michael Porter Jr. takes 2, 3, 4 steps forward, and now you got to deal with him, Jamal Murray, and Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you do against 3 young guns?
And I had a conversation. It's funny because one of the old heads, not Dustman, but one of the other old heads, he came in the conversation and was like, all these new niggas, all they want to do is leave and go try to link up. And it's just like, no, that's called life evolving. The same reason why people change jobs or move for a different job is better opportunity. That's what you want. That whole get this job and work till your back breaks and then they throw you down the nigga hole, that's a stupid mentality that black people kind of just accepted back in the day.
Because they didn't have that much opportunity.
Right.
So you take what you can get and you make the most of it.
Bingo.
Shit ain't like that
no more. I can go be a fucking millionaire on YouTube. I can go be a millionaire on motherfucking Amazon. Anything. It's like, so I don't necessarily, like, my dispatcher one day was like, I don't understand why the young people just be calling out and shit like this, that, and the third. And I'm like, because they have shit going on. He said, what are you talking about? I'm like, people have things going on out. One of the girls, she works for the railroad. She sells the hijabs.
Okay.
Is that the proper way to announce it? Hijab? Hijab, I didn't want to. But she sells them. And she posted a joint the other day. She sold 500 and something of them and made $11,000. And it's just like, that, like, people
I'm gonna take a day off from work here and there.
You see what I'm saying?
I got shit to do.
And I was telling him, like, for me being like silly and play around and shit, I have the podcast.
Right.
It's like people have shit going on outside of work where it's like, no, I'm working, but get it fucked up. The deal come and the Phantom.
Hey,
I'm not even giving y'all a resignation letter.
Where's Matt at?
Where is Matt at? Real shit. Like, so it's just, that's just the way it go. And that shit happens in sports. It happens in music. It happens in every fucking level of life. So now you got sports players where Back in the day, they wanted security. Magic Johnson signed a 25-year deal. Like what?
A million a season.
25-year deal. Motherfuckers just wanted job security. Yeah. So that's why you had all these big dumbass contracts. Where now it's like, no, because I own Blaze Pizza and I own this restaurant and I got this going on over here.
There's just so much money in the game now, even from like just the television revenue and shit like that, and the kickbacks that the league gives a player outside of what they're contracted for to perform for. It's too much bread. Like they got so much money in their prior TV deal, they were able to orchestrate a lockout for like 6 fucking months because niggas is like, nah, we straight. Like y'all gonna get this shit right or we ain't coming back.
Right. Did you see the other day the Sixers, they approved 5 restaurants that they can go have team meals at, even through the quarantine and shit?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. The basically the league for all the teams in their cities and shit and where they visiting and shit basically made deals with restaurants in every city that the NBA be. So the 5 restaurants here, the only one that I notable, they're all down there in that Rittenhouse area. Yeah. It's the joint you was going to that day when I seen you. I was going to Elvez. You was going to the one across the street.
Double Knot?
Double Knot. That was on the list. Yeah, Double Knot, and it's like 4 other ones that they can go have team meals and nobody else can come in there. Yeah. And then when other teams come, they can go there and shit. And it's just like, the NBA just has too much power.
Yeah.
Turn them goddamn fryers on. You know what I'm saying? It's just too much money and it's too much power. Yeah. But when it comes down to the contract, that CBA, like the contract structures, because of it, you'll never see. When you got, and just last thing I'm going to leave you with, Anthony Davis, Kawhi Leonard, LeBron James. I'm trying to think, it's 2 other people are definitely for sure. Kevin Durant, and I forgot the other one. These niggas all turned down Supermax deals. Think about that for a second. We will give you $250 million guaranteed to stay here in this city with this team while we build around you. And they was like, nope.
No thanks.
Nah.
Kind of hate New Orleans. Yeah. Kind of fucking hate it here.
Probably like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. Cleveland stinks.
Like,
if I wasn't from here.
I came back for nostalgic purposes, but the rumors are the facts. This shit stinks.
Yeah, kind of gonna slide.
This is awful.
They're like Kawhi, Supermax. You gotta be fucking kidding.
Canada, my nigga, Canada.
You gotta be kidding. Like, think about that. The Supermax backfired.
Yeah.
Like, the only motherfuckers that signed it was Harden, Steph Curry, Giannis, and Westbrook.
Yeah.
And Westbrook sure got traded after something in the joint.
Immediately.
Like, Dynasties is done, though.
Paul George turned down Supermax, too.
Paul George turned down Supermax. You're absolutely right. Like, that's the other person. I know it was somebody else. It's just like, yeah, dog, like when you got big names turning down guaranteed Supermax deals, and then you got motherfuckers like Mike Conley getting $150, it's like, you're never going to see another.
Yeah, it backfired in every aspect.
The money moves too much. It just moves them too much.
It made it to where a player that is important to a team that may not be a superstar gets elevated because you have to overpay him to keep him.
JJ Redick got $20 million a season.
Got 23 one season from the Sixers.
Crazy.
To be a spot up wing shooter.
KCP was like, I want 80. It was like, all right, relax.
Slow down.
Relax.
Slow the fuck down.
Still trying to get over that Kobe walking out on you think. Like, but no, it's the truth. It's
KCP had shit. What's his most recent? He got 30 over 2 years. He got 18, then he got 12.
Who?
KCP.
Oh yeah.
Right before LeBron came.
Yeah. Crazy. So it's like, yeah, no, everybody's going to get either overpaid or they're just going to turn down certain shit.
Right.
And because of that, you're not going to be able to keep teams together. Look at the Lakers. The Lakers just won a championship. 7 players are gone.
Yeah, they pillaged the rest of the league to fill in the depletions.
Danny Green is gone. Avery Green is gone. Rondo is gone. Dwight Howard is gone. JaVale McGee is gone. Like, they straight have a whole new team.
Danny Green is stinking it up for the Sixers, by the way. He's absolutely awful.
Sixers look good.
Sixers look good. Danny Green still looks terrible. I think he's shooting like 22% from 3 or something like that.
Do you want to, is there anything else you wanted to discuss?
Not really. What'd you say? I thought T was going to say something.
Philly invades Atlanta. Oh, Master P is trying to buy Reebok. I'm probably not gonna buy any Reeboks.
I'm definitely not buying any Reeboks. I applaud him and Baron Davis for doing some good business and trying to create some more black billionaires and all of that. Baron Davis on the low is like a major player in like the tech world and shit like that. Like his name pops up in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. Legal marijuana too, I believe. He got something to do with that also. But yeah, Baron Davis is a mover and shaker. They got access to the capital, I'm sure, to get the deal done. The thing is just like, Adidas devalued Reebok's brand equity so bad just by mere just apathy. Like they just didn't care. Like they had a little run with the CrossFit shit or whatever, but other than that, like they did nothing. They didn't pump no money into the brand, nothing. And so it's like CrossFit and Pierre Moss was the only shit that they did that was like kind of like dope the last few years. They tried to fucking get Future to wear Reeboks for a little bit, overpay him, didn't work. They tried to get Swiss Beats to fucking do some creative design, bring the Boscat shit over there, didn't work.
Yeah, none of it like popped.
None of it popped.
They on their 9th fucking tour of Allen Iverson questions.
They had Kendrick for a minute too.
They had Kendrick too, and now Kendrick is locked in with Nike for like a long-term deal. And it's like a lot of these companies, not a lot because it ain't a lot of them out there, but they missed the mark on a lot of these creatives and not knowing like who was next and just kind of just banking on like athletics making so much money and not being aware of the lifestyle part of it and how important the lifestyle shit was. Like Jerry Lorenzo is the director of Adidas Athletics.
Yeah.
Basketball in particular.
Yeah, he left Nike.
He left Nike.
Sean Witherspoon, he's at Adidas now.
See what I'm saying? It's like, so it's like if you're not incentivizing these creatives and giving them real equity stake and shit like that in their creation and all that, and you just giving them like a vanity deal where they get, a set amount to design a shoe and no royalty and all that shit's not gonna fly. Think about like fucking Ronnie Fike. I was talking about him this morning, like this motherfucker has the only non-exclusive deal in fashion. Ronnie Fike just redesigned listen to me. He just redesigned the Knicks city uniforms for Nike. Put out a Air Force One with Nike, collab with Dipset, and put out the warm ups and all of that shit for Nike. This week he got a New Balance out. How?
Those the sky blue joints?
Yes.
Yeah.
He got a New Balance out this week.
And the Yankees collab.
Damn.
See what I'm saying?
The most coveted icon in all sports.
Yeah, it's like, yo,
we got to get some of this money, man.
At some point, it's like, they would let you, they don't even let you do luxury and athletic no more. That's in a non-compete. Like, so now they straight letting Ronnie Fike do athletic against athletic, straight competitors at the same time. Like, it's nuts.
I just saw a tweet, man. It's a picture of Draymond Green and Steph Curry.
Combined 63 points.
Yeah.
Combined 63
went
points.
for 63 tonight. Steph Curry has 62. That's funny as shit. But yeah, it's so much money out.
If you know you have brand equity, you can get what the fuck you want. It may not be from who you want it from, but there's always a dark horse that's going to pop up like, I'll pay it. Yeah. Same. That's what happened with Steph with Under Armour.
Right.
Nike was the incumbent. Nike had first right of refusal on re-signing him. This is before he blew the fuck up, won a zillion MVPs, championships, all of that shit. And Nike just fumbled. Like, their presentation didn't have no fucking energy to it. They didn't give a fuck. They didn't believe in his ability to sell shoes. Under Armour, like, listen, not only can you come over this motherfucker, you can fucking own this motherfucker with us.
And the crazy part is, Steph he's like on their golf John, all
everything.
Yeah.
Because you are the you're like the number 3 shoe seller in the universe.
Nigga selling Under Armour wrestling outfits. Pictures
Singlets.
Pictures of him like this.
Fucking golf shirts, all type of shit.
I saw a fucking golf line from Steph Curry at Under Armour. I was like, God damn. So it's like, yeah, they know that shit, but it's crazy though, because he's become like an actual figure in like the celebrity golf world. Sell some fucking clothes.
Yep, we gonna wrap all this shit around.
One thing
around
I
our
realized is like the especially the hood shit. Like the hood dollar be mattering, but not in the global.
In the global grand scheme of things, it means nothing. Like we have, as black people, Dr. Claude Anderson stated this statistic. We got a spending power of 1.1 to 1.3 trillion every single year for all the black people in America. We inherently choose to oppress our black business owners because we don't spend our money with them. 80% of our money goes outside of the fucking black community. And I think it might have been more than that. It might have been like 9 out of every $10 gets spent outside the black community.
You know one thing I think that's like absolutely hilarious when it comes to black people? They'll go to KOP, they'll buy a bag for $1,200, they'll buy a coat for $2,200, they'll buy some shoes for $650. Then they'll go to the local urban designer, buy 2 t-shirts and post it on Instagram, be like, buy black. And
they wanted a deal. The shirts was $30 a piece. Man, let me get these Jones for $50.
That shit is crazy, man. But it's just like, nah, I sit back and I was thinking about that shit the other day because I was talking to, again, one of the guys talking to at work. We was looking at a John that was talking about how Nike's highest paid athlete and as far as endorsements and shit like that. And you know, Tiger Woods was it for a while. Yeah. And he's like, I don't understand. Like, how the fuck would Tiger Woods be it over like LeBron and Michael Jordan? I'm like, because the NBA wasn't global. The NBA just became a global game in the last 5 years. Exactly. When Tiger Woods was winning all the Masters and all that shit, golf is everywhere. Yeah. So it's like, when Tiger Woods became the fist pump master winner over again, all that golf wear, them golf clubs, them golf hat. I have on a Nike golf hat
right now.
It's like, just is what it is. It's like, he became the face of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at NCAA 2004 on the video game, Madden 2004 on the video game, NBA 2K on the video game. You know what the golf game was called? Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods PGA.
This shit ain't the golf game. It's Tiger Woods. Like, he became the face of an entire sport, and golf is a universal game. So it's like, that's how he became $100-200 million a year nigga from Nike.
No business, no other sport closes more business deals than golf. Yeah. Golf first, tennis second.
It just is what it is. You want to make some money? I think who was it that said that shit? I think Ari on in Honor.
Learn how to play golf.
You want to make some money? Learn how to play golf. That's just what it is.
Shit, even our man Charm on American Pimp was playing golf. Y'all get out here and get my 18 holes in, you know what I'm saying?
Damn sure was. It's the truth though. The biggest deals get closed on the golf course. Like,
it is what it is.
Is what it is. You got anything else?
No, not really, man. I just wanted to give a shout out to our TV partner, New Generation Television. Follow them on social media at NGTV Network. Our episodes are typically available on Wednesdays on New Generation TV, and then also on YouTube as well. What else? I don't really got nothing else, man. Anniversary show coming up in about 2 weeks. MLK Monday. We're trying to work on some different guests and stuff like that. Who knows? And but other than that, man, I just appreciate y'all, support, y'all viewership, y'all listenership. Go back and listen to the last show we had with Saad Mosca, DJ and Legend. That was a good ass show.
Yeah, it was
episode 131. We had a surprise, good ass interview. We didn't know what to expect from it, but it ended up working out. The way that I planned it in my head is how it happened, but at the time, it was a little shaky. I didn't know I was going to.
Yeah, I didn't. When I saw the 4-finger ring, I said, "This is about to be freaky."
This is about to be dumb.
Yeah, this is about to be freaky. But the shit was a really, really good interview. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, so check out that episode 131. Check out our whole back catalog. Support us on YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Just search TRPE. Page pop right up, and support us, man. We appreciate everybody listening. Though, y'all take care of yourselves. Y'all be safe. Happy New Year. We out.